What's up, everyone? How's it going? Ryan here, back with another episode of This Week in Hearthstone, episode number 9. I hope that you guys are having a great week. Luckily, it's almost Friday, so that's always good for me, to be honest. We got a lot to go over this episode. There was actually a couple of news articles that came out this week. There was a patch for Hearthstone that came out, which is a pretty big one, that added some new life improvements, as well as an announcement of the Hearthstone Esports 2019 that has been going on, and the changes that will be happening in there over the next year or so, which some people have been saying is really good. Some people are saying it's really bad and it's really confusing. We're going to save all that for, I believe, next week, or maybe even a possible secondary episode sometime later this weekend, if I have time. But we have like way too many cards. Like I think we have like 50 or 60 cards that came out, so we're going to try to blow past them pretty quickly. Just FYI, we're also going to have a guest on this stream. One of my friends, Carson, has agreed to come on and do the podcast with me and just bounce off some ideas of Hearthstone cards. So we'll see how that goes as well. So if you guys hear a new voice this episode, that's who it is. May never see him again. He may never be my friend after this. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, before we get into it though, guys, just wanted to give out a few announcements. We are on Spotify and iTunes as always. If it's your first time coming here, if it's your 30th time coming here, whatever it may be. So don't forget to check out the podcast in the show notes or episode description, YouTube description, or down below on my Twitch channel to check out the links to the Spotify and the iTunes where you guys could subscribe and follow the podcast for free on either Spotify and iTunes. That way, when a new episode comes out, you will be able to just immediately listen to that episode, download that episode, and listen to it at your leisure. It's probably the best way to be able to keep in touch and keep up to date with the podcast. So keep that in mind. Also, just another friendly reminder, if you guys would, please rate the podcast if you can. Be just super helpful for us. It keeps us, it gives us more legitimacy, helps us with our SEO and stuff like that for people who don't follow my social media and all that stuff as well. So like I said, getting right into it, we are doing a card reveal stream today, or talking, I guess I should say, about the cards that were released for Rostacon's Rumble. If you guys didn't know, Rostacon's Rumble comes out on December 4th. You can pre-order the expansion up until December 3rd, and they are actually allowing you to do pre-release parties on your own, which can be, basically you're allowed to open up your pre-order packs only from, I believe, tomorrow, which is the 30th. To December 3rd. So if you do pre-order, you can't open them immediately. You will only be able to verse people on your friends list who have also done the same thing and who are on the same Wi-Fi connection. So keep that in mind. You can make the fireside gathering private, so that could be on your own Wi-Fi network, unlisted, or you can go to a public event, which there's tons of fireside gatherings happening around the area. So yeah, keep that in mind if you guys want to pre-order. Pre-orders are running out, basically. Our timed pre-order is running out, so keep that in mind. There's a 50-pack pre-order and I believe a 17-pack pre-order, and you can buy either one or the other or both. Lastly, this is the first time we're looking at any of these cards. I just literally copied and pasted the cards into a show notes file, so neither myself nor my friend have seen any of them, so we're probably going to get a ton of these wrong. So yeah, you can laugh at us later. Maybe I'll do like a Trump reviews Trump thing or whatever, where I'm like totally off and wrong about all of the cards as well. So yeah. And also, lastly, audio listeners, I know that this might not be the best thing for you guys to listen to right now, but if you guys want to, you can go check out the YouTube or the Twitch VODs, etc., which are once again in the episode description to get visual aids for the cards. Also, check out the show notes. We will be going in order of the show notes for which cards are talked about, but I will try my best to be able to describe and explain each and every card, but it might be a little hard. So, with all those announcements out of the way, let's introduce my friend, who's also going to be helping me with this card review, and be talking to him about it as well. Let's get him on here, so give me a sec. Hello? Hello, what's up, Carson? Yeah, pretty good. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. I know the viewers won't care either way, but I appreciate it. That's all that matters. Thanks, buddy. It was like totally last minute to you guys that we got Carson on to the podcast. So keep that in mind as well. So I really do appreciate him for coming on and stuff. Yeah, like literally an hour ago, I was like, we were complaining about loot boxes, which will be a discussion for another day. And yeah, somehow I got him and roped him into this, so it was pretty easy. All right, Carson. So give us a background. Give us your Hearthstone history. How long have you been playing? What format do you usually play? Favorite thing about Hearthstone, worst thing about Hearthstone before we jump into the card review. Go. Oh, really? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, so first, I've been playing Hearthstone since beta.
Mm-hmm.
Big WoW player, saw the game, played a little bit, like a tiny bit of Magic. Never had my own decks, but played with other people's,
Mm-hmm.
so I wasn't really into it. Got into beta, play it like every day.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, it's like a game that I just play when I have nothing else to do.
Okay.
And what else? Highest rank I've gotten is 4, so I'm not like too good. Used to play a lot more arena, but with the arena changes a year or 2 ago, I stopped playing. Or at least I'm not as good at it as I was. I used to get 12 wins,
Okay.
but now I can't.
What were the arena changes a couple of years ago?
It's when they like rebalanced it.
Okay.
So the old strategies that like I used to use and other people used to use don't really work anymore for me.
Because they updated it like 5 or 6 months ago again, right? To change like the buckets or something like that.
Yeah,
Right,
I mean,
so-
it probably made it more balanced
Mhm.
as a whole, but I just haven't adapted to it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And then, so what format do you currently play the most, I guess?
Standard.
Okay. Any reason for that?
Mostly just for quests.
Okay.
You know, I kind of try to play whatever deck I have a quest for, or like trying to get 500 wins now, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Because even though
that's
I
gonna
played
try
a lot,
to.
played a lot before that, but I didn't get golden heroes, so now I'm just kind of working on each one.
All right.
So hunter's my class right now.
Okay, fair enough. And I'm assuming you're doing like running like a death rattle hunter or secret hunter or something.
Yeah, secret.
Okay.
It's pretty fun.
Gotcha. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Some of the cards, I looked at some of the hunter cards today, and it does seem like they're getting some pretty good cards, but we'll have to see how it goes, I guess. I don't know. Our predictions are probably going to be super off. And then I guess lastly, if you could change one thing about Hearthstone, what would it be?
One thing.
Yeah.
Probably make it cheaper or something along those lines. Not gonna happen.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe come out with cards that mess with the game more. You know, like different win conditions. They've been doing it more recently, but try to like get the crazy stuff. Maybe add like new types of cards that aren't spells, minions, heroes.
Right.
Like other effects that can affect the board state.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe speed up the engine a bit.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I just like disruption cards, and I never see those anymore, like Dirty Rat. And I feel like those were like super. I don't know. I just like those type of cards, and it's sad that like they haven't come out with something to replace Dirty Rat in a way. So I don't know. I like disruption cards myself, so I kind of get what you mean, but yours is a little bit different from what I would want to see.
Yeah, you definitely like with Warlock, you have a little bit of disruption. The Nether, what's it called? You know, the change of random minion in each card.
Oh yeah. I mean,
and then the Gnome Veratu.
Right.
I like those.
It would be great if those cards were neutral, though. I mean, it's great that Warlock has that, and I guess kind of. I know class identity has been a weird thing in Hearthstone, so I don't know. I wish that it was just like there was something available to every class, or at least like a neutral available to every class that was like that. But
yeah, apparently hand buff is a Warlock identity now.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more soon for sure. But anyway, let's jump right into the card review. So we're going back, guys, way back, at least for the week. November 22nd, 2018, we had the day 4 card reveal. So that was literally last episode. I believe that once I was done recording last episode, we literally got this article posted. So we got up to, I believe, day 3 technically. Day 1 was this stream. Day 2 was, I guess, the cards that were released after the stream. Day 3 was Wednesday, and then these cards came out immediately after the episode ended, and it was just too late for me to edit them in and stuff because I needed to upload the episode. So first day, it looks like we got 5 cards. We got Druid, Priest, Shaman, Warrior, and 1 neutral card. So this should be pretty fast for this day. Pretty short, but the first card that we have is a rare Druid ability called Predatory Instincts. It's a 4 mana with the card text that reads, draw a beast from your deck, double its health. Carson, you have the floor first. What do you think?
Yeah, like one thing that Blizzard likes to do, they'll come out with like Beast Druid back in what was it, like Karazhan?
Yeah, something like
You have
yeah.
the 6 mana 5/5, summon a copy of a beast.
Oh right, yeah. And I think the only card that was used from that was Enchanted Raven in that expansion as well.
Yeah, the 1
Yeah,
mana 2/2.
that was like the only card that was ever used, and it was just because it was like a pretty decent 1-drop, you know.
Yeah, so um, I don't really know what else they're adding. I know like it seems like they're trying to make the hero power more effective. Like there's like I saw one of the other cards like does the damage of your hero power or something along those lines.
Yeah, the spirit or the spirit that is in this one is a stealth 0 mana 0 attack 3 health card that says whenever your hero kills an enemy minion, draw a card or something like that. So a lot of the stuff seems to be incorporated for like hero power type of stuff as well. So, and like I guess Beast Druid might work in that, but
Yeah, so maybe whatever kind of identity they're trying to come up with, like druid, beast, hero power, might
yeah.
work.
Yeah, I don't know. I think so usually we do like a 1 to 5 rating here. I'm just going to give this like a 2 out of 5. Like I don't think this is going to be played like at all. Like I don't see in like what scenario I would want to use this at all like in the current meta.
I can see a scenario, but I mean, it's like how Mechathune made Ticking Abomination and Hemet playable.
That's true.
Something double health. I mean, draw a beast. If you're looking for a specific card, maybe you only have 1 beast in your deck. I don't know.
But for 4 mana?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
combo.
yeah, I guess. What would you give this?
But yeah, not very good. 1 or 2.
1 or 2. Okay. Next up, we have the priest card. I don't know her name. Carson will correct me. What's her name, Carson? Princess
Talanji.
Talanji. Okay. So we have the legendary priest minion, Princess Talanji, an 8 mana 7/5 with the card text that reads Battlecry. Summon all minions from your hand that didn't start in your deck. I could see this being like decent, right? Because there's a lot of like card generation, I guess, with Priest in itself. You have cards like Thoughtsteal and you have cards like Shadow Vision, right? The card that like generates another spell from your deck or whatever. And technically those cards didn't like start in your hand. I guess also you would have stuff like coin, like the coin as well, which technically doesn't start or I guess no, coin would start in your hand. So I guess there's a lot of stuff that I don't know. Like
I think it can combo with like
yeah.
a lot of the big priest stuff.
Yeah, I think it will be really good. It probably could be pretty good in big priest. I just play big priest in wild though. I don't know if that's still a thing in standard. But I feel like combo priest could be pretty good too as well. If you're able to like clone and steal type of stuff, but I don't really know. I'm not a priest player. Are you?
Benedictus? No, I don't play priest.
Yeah. So
Could be.
yeah.
So Benedictus, Psychic Scream, kind of work with it.
People are saying that it's with the new freeze card and Spirit of the Dead it might be pretty good. What is Spirit of the Dead? Let's look this up really quick.
Holy Water. Deal 4 damage to a minion if that kills it. Add a copy of it to your hand.
Yeah.
It's super situational, but I'm sure there'll be a deck that makes it happen.
Yeah, I definitely think that there will be some type of like combo priest that will come around this time again that we'll probably see play. I don't think it's awful, and it kind of like the high cost mana is justified. I think, I would give it like a 3 or a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, it can like summon your entire hand in the right situation.
Yeah.
Probably pretty good. Give it a 4.
Okay. Next up, we have a shaman, an epic shaman ability. It's 3 mana, and the card text reads: the next spell you cast this turn costs 3 less. Discover a spell. Carson, go for it.
It looks like it's free, kinda. If you have another card in your hand, you just free discover a spell.
Yeah,
So
this card looks just super good. Like,
yeah.
I don't have really much to say about it. I feel like I have more to say about cards that are like iffy or like maybes or just really bad. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it just seems like it's gonna be really powerful, even if the spell isn't free. The cost reduction, like most likely, will be free because a lot of shaman spells anyway are pretty cheap.
Even
From what I can think of, yeah.
it's a lot like Farsight, and that's being played.
Yeah.
In Shaman.
And then you discover a spell on top of it, from my understanding, right?
Yeah, but a lot of Shaman spells are garbage.
True, but I mean, you are gonna have those lightning bolt, like lightning storm, volcano.
Cryostasis.
I know you're gonna get cryostasis sometimes.
You're gonna get
wind theory
Totemic
though.
Might.
Totemic might too. That's gonna happen. I mean, is there a let's see if did someone list out a lot of good spells? I don't know. I don't
I'm
know.
looking at them.
I think it will be pretty good.
I think it could be, but actually, I mean, making the next play costs. Oh, it's this turn costs 3 less. So
yeah.
it's not. It's kind of seems bad.
Really?
Just because shaman spells are bad in general.
I mean, for the most part, you're probably gonna be like comboing this with like Hagatha or something like that, and Hagatha's probably already generated some spells that you've wanted to play. So you just play this, you play that for free, and then you discover another spell on top of that. I mean, I don't know. It still seems like pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's like meta breaking, but I would give it like a 3 or a 4.
I'm gonna give it 2.
Really? All right.
Yeah, just because the discover effect doesn't seem powerful enough.
That's fair.
Maybe if it reduced the cost of the spells that you can use it in a later turn, then I think it would be better. But this turn, it reduces its potential.
Okay. All right. No, that's a good point. Next up, we have a common warrior weapon. It's called Overlord's Whip. It's a 3 mana, 2 attack, 4 durability, and it says after you play a minion, deal 1 damage to it.
I'm gonna give that 5.
Yeah, I think that this is actually. Oh man, yeah. I feel warrior has a lot of cards that have like enrage. And then like warrior's whole thing kind of is like not to damage itself per se, but to have special effects happen to the minions that are already currently damaged with enraged. And I feel like this could actually be pretty good. And then the stats for the weapon is actually like pretty decent as well,
Yeah, just in general, like
Yeah.
that seems super good for warrior. It's like a free whirlwind.
Yeah, free whirlwind on selective minions. It's
a 3 mana 2/4. Like
Yeah.
that's really good. That's what compared to like what's the axe? Battle axe?
Oh yeah, Fiery War Axe.
Fiery war axe, yeah.
Yeah. Which is now a 3 mana 3/2 with no
Exactly.
effect and is like a basic thing or whatever.
I didn't even see that.
This card is gonna actually I think this card is actually gonna be super broken and wild with Grim Patreon. Like you just play this and then you just play a Grim Patreon, like even in the same turn if you have 8 mana, or like even just have it set up or whatever, and then it just starts summoning a bunch of Grim Patreons. And then from what I think it's one of those cards that's been argued about on Reddit because there's been no confirmation about it yet. But it's like no one knows if, because it would make sense balance wise if it loses a durability maybe every time a minion is played, right? So it doesn't have like infinite charges of that deal 1 damage. But I don't believe there's been any confirmation for this card that it does that. So if it's kind of like a corridor creep, this is like a corridor creeper situation. Like I gave that card like really bad. I believe I got it like gave it like a really bad rating at the time because there was no confirmation if it did it to just your minions or your opponent's minions as well. But yeah, I mean, as the card stands, I'm just taking it at face value, I guess. Yeah, it's probably a 5, 4 or 5 for sure.
With if it loses durability, it still seems pretty good to
It's still
me.
pretty good, yeah.
But it seems broken without the durability loss.
Right, exactly. People are probably going to be running. I could see people running this, like a couple of copies of this or whatever, for sure. Next up, last card for day 4 is Murloc Tasty Fin. So I guess Murlocs are still the same. It is a rare neutral minion. It is a 4 mana, 3/2 Murloc with the card text that reads Death Rattle. Draw 2 Murlocs from your deck. I mean, pretty simple neutral card. I guess Murloc Paladin, Murloc whatever will still be a thing or whatever. Yeah, I just think it's just an average card. I like the card art. I mean, it's like, I know, a 3-star. It's probably just an average thing, you know?
So I play wild. Like I made my own breed of like wild Murloc shaman with the quest, unite the Murlocs, and just thinking about that deck because I don't know how Murlocs are in standard.
Mm-hmm.
I could possibly use this. I mean the deck's kind of full. Let me think.
Yeah, like for
Like
4 mana, what would you replace, right?
yeah, I mean the drawing Murlocs like that might replace like ice fishing possibly to just play more Murlocs, get the quest done.
Get the quest done, buff your Murloc Tide Callers and stuff. Get that synergy going as well.
Yeah. So in that context, like it's possible. I don't know if it's good.
I yeah, I think it's just, in my opinion, for me at least in standard, there's no real Murlocs running around except like Murloc Mage, which is obviously just like aggro, but I feel like any Murloc deck is aggro. I feel like if this card was maybe like 3 or 2 mana, it would be super, super good, obviously. But I feel like at 4 mana, like Gentle Megasaur is a 4 mana card, you know what I mean? And its effect can be like devastating, right? And that's like instant. With this, it has to die first for it to draw more Murlocs, which is great if you get AoE down or something like that and can potentially refresh your hand anyway. But I don't know. I feel like the 4 mana is a little bit too high, but I can definitely see it being played.
I think it's
So
good.
I'm gonna give it like just a 3-star, like an average 3 or 4-star, but nothing like crazy good.
I think it's better than Primal Fin Lookout, which is kind of the closest Murloc that I can think of to it. Which Battle Cry, if you control a Murloc, discover a Murloc. It's from it's in standard right now.
Oh yeah,
But,
yeah.
but I'm not playing Primal Fin Lookout in my Murloc deck,
Right,
and I don't play Cold Like Oracle either. I already have enough card draw
right.
most of the time.
Okay, fair. So what would you give this card?
In standard, it's probably a little better because there are less Murlocs. Probably give it 3 or 4. I mean, probably 3. 4 is definitely pushing it. Yeah.
Okay. Next up we have the day 5 cards, which it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 cards that we can just blast through really quick. So let's just get to that. First up we have a rare druid minion. It's actually their spirit card, which I had mentioned earlier when we were talking about the first druid card that was talked about. But it is a 1 mana 0/3 Spirit of the Raptor with the card text that reads Stealth for 1 turn. After your hero attacks and kills a minion, draw a card. Carson, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, odd druid. Draw a card. I mean, okay. So in odd druid, you play it turn 1, turn 2. you kill whatever 1 health. Oh wait, it's not even overkill. Okay, so
It's not even overkill. You just need to kill it.
yeah, but then they're gonna play around it possibly if they see that you're odd. So it's hard to. I don't know. I don't like it.
I actually don't care for it either. I know a lot of people in the community are split about it or whatever. I just feel like Druid has a lot of draw anyway, and I feel like to just try to shove this somewhere in the deck and replace something else with it, I just don't see what it would replace, why it should replace something. I just think it's a whatever
Does
card.
does Odd Druid exist?
Not really. Beyond
Yeah,
like just memeing around or whatever. I mean, we haven't really gotten to like the rest of the cards in the set. I mean, it might be a thing later. They did one of the cards that's coming up in a few cards from now is the legendary for this set, but I don't know. I don't think that this is playable at all. I would give it a 2 or 3.
yeah. I mean, seems like that's all it's good for.
Yeah.
So maybe a 2,
Okay.
but that might be good depending on the rest.
Yeah. Next up we have a mage minion card called Arcanine. 6 mana, 3/3 elemental with the card text that reads Battle Cry. If you played an elemental last turn, deal 3 damage to all other minions. It's pretty much just Duskbreaker, but for mage. Yeah. I mean, well, it's a more expensive Duskbreaker, I should say, because wasn't Duskbreaker like 4 mana? I
Is that the
believe
priest one?
that's the priest one where it was a dragon, but it was if you're holding a dragon, deal 3 damage to all other minions, and it was like 4 mana 3/3. So I remember that fondly because I was playing Odd Paladin, always getting wiped by that thing on turn. So, yeah, a decent card. I think. Yeah,
It can heal you to full.
that's true.
Mm-hmm.
uh,
It's good in Jaina based Frostlich Jaina decks.
Yeah, that's true as well. If you need to just get some damage done and then start summoning those water elementals as well, it'll be pretty good. I mean, it's a decent card. It's probably a 3 or 4 for me. I have nothing really bad to say about it. I think if Elemental Mage becomes a thing, which it kind of not really is in standard right now, like people are kind of dabbling with it and playing around with it. I can definitely see it being played because people are playing a lot of that with Jaina, obviously, in a more of like a controlled style type of deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it, especially since really the only thing that I think elemental mages are playing for clear is Flame Strike, probably, and that's at 7 mana. So, and the whole point in comboing of elemental mage is that you're probably going to be playing an elemental every turn anyway because it's more minion based focused. So you're probably going to get it down. You're going to activate this card obviously like pretty easily. So yeah, I give this like a 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think it's good right now. But the cost, like 6 mana, 3/3, is kind of weak.
Yeah, that's definitely weak. The effect is why it's making it good. Next up we have a rare paladin weapon called Firaki Battle Axe. It's 5 mana with 3 attack, 3 durability, with the card text that reads Overkill. Give a minion in your hand +2/+2. Okay, Blizzard, stop making hand buff a thing. First of all,
I don't like it.
I don't like it at all. I
Really
think this is actually just a garbage card for a
Mhm.
5. Like for 4 mana, I get a 4/2 that also heals me for 2, which is nice or whatever. Like I'm probably gonna I would not for 5 mana.
You have to kill something that has 2 health.
Yeah, you
And,
have. Yeah,
and you're wasting 5 mana on it, and then it's not even doing anything that turn for you. So it just keeps you behind.
Hmm.
It's bad. I'm gonna give that 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 1 as well. Easy. Get out of here, Paladin. Next up, we have the Shaman Spirit. It's a rare minion called Spirit of the Frog. It's a 3 mana 0/3 with the card text that reads Stealth for 1 turn. Whenever you cast a spell, draw a spell from your deck that costs 1 more. Eh?
I don't know. Like, I don't like shaman spells.
Yeah,
Like, in all the shaman decks, aren't they just playing battle cries anyway? Like
yeah,
Healing Rain and Hex. I'm like Volcano. No, people aren't even playing Bloodlust right now.
no. Yeah, I don't really see an archetype that this would fit in, or a want or a need for this, especially at 3 mana anyway. Like, let's say, for example, you cast like Healing Rain next turn. Like, what is going to draw for you? Like, does it even really like? Is it even really
Yeah.
that useful? I
You
don't
play
think.
Healing Rain and then you get Hex.
Yeah, and then you hex something, and then you get Volcano. I guess if you haven't drawn that already. The thing is, it's one of those cards that's, I don't know. I just don't like it or whatever.
Plus, it's 3 mana.
Yeah, it's the thing. It's 3 mana, and it's like you're probably gonna be able to get like one, like, well, it sells for 1 turn. You're probably gonna get maybe 2 turns of value out of it, but then after that, you've probably drawn all your spells anyway, and then it's just gonna be like a dead 0/3 on the board that you don't really have to worry about.
It's worse than Mana Tide.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And this is not gonna replace that by any means. So, yeah, 1 star.
Yeah, unless like there's a bunch of stuff that works with it. Like, what's the Krogwa do? I mean, we'll figure that out.
We'll probably get to that in a little bit or whatever. I think that was
Yeah, it
revealed
seems
like
pretty
near the
bad.
end or whatever, but I think that's even is not going to save it in my opinion. Next up we have a 1 mana shaman ability. It's common rarity called Totemic Smash. And it has a card text that reads deal 2 damage, overkill, summon a basic totem.
It's power creep.
Yeah, I think that this is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's
Right?
strictly better than Arcane Shot, Smite.
I mean, even like what was the card that came? Oh, Zap, right? Zap last expansion was a 0 mana, card. Deal 2 damage to anything, I believe, and then its overload is I think 1 or 2. I mean, this is pretty good for 1 mana. Just deal 2 damage, and then you just summon a body on the board. So you're dealing 2 damage. You summon a totem, and then yeah, if you summon this later in the late game and you're looking for like a spell totem or something, you just have a better roll to be able to hero power into another spell totem. Because I believe what they said about this card was that, like, for example, if you were to play this and it summons a flame tongue totem, when you do your hero power now, you won't get a flame tongue totem because there's already one on the board. So there's no way for you to get 2 of them, right? So now you have a better chance of getting the totem that you possibly want, right? Yeah, I think it's good. 4 or 5 for me. Probably
But
a
even
5.
then, like, I mean, the 1 mana deal 2 damage spells in general, like Smite's used in combo Priest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if those are good cards in general. So even though it is like a strictly better version of that, and it can like summon your totem, still don't know if it's good. So I'm gonna give it maybe 3.
Okay. I really do not like early game cards and like early spells or whatever. I feel like that's like one of the problems that Hearthstone has issues with balancing or whatever. I mean, if you can get the overkill off with this, it's cool because you get a basic totem. I don't know. I think it's actually pretty good. Like, yeah, I'll stick with mine. I'll give it a 4. Next up, we have a Warlock spell. It is a rare spell. It's 1 mana. It's called Grim Rally with the card text that reads destroy a friendly minion, give your minions +1/+1. Zulok.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Right? Just straight up just Zulok, and I think it's actually pretty good.
Just flood the board.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, you'd have to have a board for it though, and then you get +1/+1. Like, kind of compare that to that Druid spell.
The
Gives everyone
Savage
plus.
War?
No, like the Lotus one.
Oh, yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, that one's straight up I mean, that's a different class, different meta. But that one is 1 mana, give your minions +1/+1. Mark the
Right.
Lotus.
People are saying Void Analyst. That's a 2 mana 2/2 with the Death Rattle. Give all demons in your hand +1/+1. You play that and then kill it, and then give your demons in your hand +1/+1 plus this, which gives your minions on the board. And give your minions +1/+1.
I just don't know if it's actually that good though. Because it's 1 mana, and then it gives like a little bit of an effect. But if you wanna play it, it weakens your board so much.
That's true. People are
Like,
also saying Wild as well, with Haunted Creeper or New Ruby and Egg. It'd be pretty
yeah.
insane.
But yeah, Mark of the Lotus has the same effect without the drawback, and it's a common.
Yeah, that's true.
And even that, like in Druid, which is also a flood deck, wasn't always played in that meta.
True.
So I'm gonna rate this one like 2, because I don't like the effect.
Okay. Yeah, I would probably, after thinking about it, I agree with you. It just, I can't really come up off the top of my head of like a card that I would be in Zoo that I would be like willing to sacrifice board state for just to give a little bit of a buff to anyway. So yeah, I agree with you, and I think it will be played, but I would probably give it a 2 or 3 or something.
Yeah, it just weakens your board too much. Like,
Yeah.
because if you're gonna play it early on, you're gonna have nothing.
Right.
Like, you kill one minion, give the other minion +1/+1, and then that's like 1/1 of stats.
Right.
Like the other sacrifice cards that warlocks have had, or like that possessed lackey, which got nerfed.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but then even then, like recruit a demon, and maybe it'd give that minion +1/+1 that you summon. But
Yeah.
it doesn't matter, that 1/1 of stats is low at that mana cost.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Next up, we have a legendary neutral minion called Grifta. It's a 4 mana, 4/5, with the card text that reads Battle Cry. Discover 2 cards, give 1 to your opponent at random. Alright, it's a 1. I mean, do we have to spend much time on this card at all?
I don't think it's a 1.
Really? I think it's like a 1
Yeah,
or a 2. I think I would just dust it.
it's
Like, I
really
would
good
instantly
against
destroy
control. Because you give your opponent a bad card and then they overdraw or something. Like if you're playing against an even lock.
Yeah, but then you have to hope that you give them the bad card, because you give one of them to your opponent at random.
Right, you pick 2 bad cards.
Okay. I mean you're right, it's true.
I mean, but yeah, then you're playing a Yeti.
Right.
So maybe if it was like lower cost or something and it was like a better stat value, but I don't think it's as bad as you think. Because there are situations where this could definitely hurt your opponent.
I'm just thinking from the perspective of like, if I pull this card in my pre-order stuff, I'm just dusting it like right off the bat. Like, I don't know, it's a 1 or 2. I think it's pretty bad.
It looks bad, but it's also an interesting effect that could change the game in like a little bit. I think it's a little more interesting. Plus, like thematically, it's really interesting for Grifta. Like he sells soap on a rope in WoW, and
Right.
he's just sells you garbage. So he's fun.
Right.
I don't think he's that bad.
Okay.
But he is like a waste of a legendary.
Oh yeah, for sure. But
Like,
yeah, I feel like they
wouldn't
only
dust
put him as a legendary so people wouldn't shove 2 of them in their deck or something, as well. Like,
yeah, actually, that might be a strategy if you have 2.
yeah, right.
I mean, you cause your opponent to overdraw.
Yeah.
I think it's not as bad as it looks, but I don't think it's good.
All right. What would you give it?
2 or 3.
Yeah.
2.5.
Okay. Fair enough. Next up we have the day 6 and 7 cards, which is about 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 12 cards, so we'll go through this pretty quickly or whatever. They combined these 2 days together for some reason. I think just the site we're grabbing the cards from, hearthstone.com, just wasn't able to do them that day or something. I don't know. But
Was that Thanksgiving or something?
it probably was 4 days ago.
No.
So no, it wasn't. But it was Cyber Monday, so maybe that's the reason. But Anyway, we do have the legendary druid card that you were talking about. It is a minion. It is a 3-mana 1/2, and it's called War Druid Loti, with the card text that reads: choose one, transform into one of Loti's 4 dinosaur forms. And sorry once again for you audio listeners, this is going to get kind of complicated, but it turns into one of these 4 things that you get to choose from. A 3-mana, and they're all beasts, by the way. A 3-mana 1/2 with poisonous stealth, a 3-mana 1/6 with taunt, a 3-mana 4/2 with rush, or a 3-mana 1/4 with spell damage. Also, if you play this card in Wild with Fandral, it becomes a 3-mana taunt, rush, poisonous, stealth, spell damage +1 4/6. So keep that in mind as well. Yeah, I think it's actually a really good card.
It's pretty good.
It's probably like a 4 for me, just 3 or 4, just like right off the bat or whatever. Druid cards are, I don't know. I just feel like the choose one mechanic is just so good in Druid or whatever. Because it just fits to like every situation that you have or whatever.
Actually, when I look at the stats for each form, I don't know if it's as good. Like being 3 mana, it's you get a snail, or what's the mage? The gnome mage, you know. 3
Oh
mana,
yeah,
1/4 spell damage.
1/4
3
spell
mana,
damage.
4/2. The 4/2 rush is probably good-ish.
I mean, you're probably playing this like on curve as well. So I mean, the 3-mana 1/6 will definitely be like, the taunt will be annoying. The rush would definitely be pretty good. If you play
Yeah.
it in late game, you have a stealth poisonous, which is something that they have to deal with as well. So I actually think that it's still like a fairly decent card or whatever. Just because it's gonna be hard to get. Like, yeah, the taunt will be really annoying for some people to get rid of. The rush will be able to get more board control than it already than it will solidify board control. I don't think I think the spell damage one is pretty useless. But I don't know. I still stick with like probably a 4 for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
Three and a
bad.
half to 4 probably.
I guess the versatility kind of makes it worth it. Kind of like choosing paths. Like, even though it's worse than a 3 mana draw 2 spell, I mean, you're paying the extra mana for the choice.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be good. But just each individual choice doesn't look that great. But I
Right.
think it's probably good overall.
Just
Even the spell damage +1, like, you
mm-hmm.
swipe, swipe with 2 damage to all
Yeah.
other enemies.
No, that's
It's
true.
pretty strong.
And then also don't forget the Wild Fandral variant
Yeah, which
of
is
Loti, which is
stupidly strong.
which is stupidly dumb. Fun fact, by the way, is that whenever they have to make these choose one cards or whatever, they have to hire like an extra artist to do the wild card for Fandral and figure out what that's going to look like and what its effects are going to be and stuff like that. So I don't know. Fun fact. Just thought it was pretty interesting. What did you get? What do you give that one, by the way?
It's probably like a 3. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be better than what I'm thinking. I just don't think it feels good playing a 3 mana 1/2 poison stealth.
Right.
Or a 3 mana 1/4 spell damage +1. Like, any individual form just feels weak to me. I'm sure, like, that's my issue with it.
Right.
But the fact that you get to choose whatever you want probably makes it overall fine, but I just don't know if that'll be, like, worth playing.
Okay. Fair.
Because each individual card is not that great.
Okay. Next up we have a epic druid spell. It's called Stampeding Roar, 6 mana with the card text that reads: summon a random beast from your hand and give it rush. I think this is really strong, possibly right now, but as cards rotate out next expansion, it might be less strong. I don't know. Like, the only card I can think of that I would want to give rush to is probably Hadronox. But
Yeah, I don't think it's good.
yeah, even then, like, what is the health on Hadronox?
7.
7. Okay, yeah, then it's bad. I don't think it's good, actually. I take that back then.
Yeah, you need a big beast that costs like 6 or more essentially.
Right.
That doesn't have charge or rush.
Right.
So the 7/7 dinosaur is out. Um, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Plus, like a random beast from your hand, then you can't pick. Like if you have a beast druid and you're playing low mana beasts as well, you might end up drawing the worst choice.
Right.
You know, like Grizzled Guardian might be a decent target, but even then, I don't think this is good.
Yeah, you would have to set it up, and setting stuff up is just always kind of annoying, especially when it's random.
Yeah,
So that's a good
because
point.
you need that other card in your hand, and you need to not have the other card in your hand in
Right.
order for this to be pulled off. So I'm actually gonna give it a 1 based on all those.
Yeah, I'll
Right.
give it a 1. I think this might be one of those cards where, like, maybe 2 to 3 expansions down the line, or maybe when like rotation happens next year, it might see play. But even then, I don't think it's going to be that great.
Yeah, it could be good with a combo,
Yeah. All right.
but
Yeah.
looks bad.
Yeah. All right, let's speed this up. We got a handful of more cards to get through. We got this. Next up, we have a epic hunter spell. It's called Master's Call. 3 mana. It's has the card text that reads: "Discover a minion in your deck. If all 3 are beasts, draw them all." I don't know.
So you need beast only hunter.
Yeah, which isn't something that's currently in the meta right now.
Yeah,
I
because you have like
mean, King Crush, those type of like high end beasts, I guess, would be something that would be playable, but
or I mean maybe just have a majority of beasts and then you roll the dice on it. Like you get 2 high mains and then like I don't know. It doesn't look that
it is.
good.
I give it like a 2 or 3. Like it's nothing spectacular for sure.
Yeah, and I mean also like Blizzard's pushing so many different archetypes for each class.
Right.
Like I don't like it.
Yeah, I think it
Again.
for me. I know this is like random, but it's also an epic. So like for me, it's also like, do I really want to spend 400 dust on this card? Like, not really. You know, like it doesn't seem like a very good card in general. So I'd probably give it like a 2, 1.5 to 2, maybe a 3. But yeah.
Yeah, even in a beast hunter deck, like you'd want to play Houndmaster,
Right.
which isn't a beast, so you're gonna be possibly drawing that. Like there might be an archetype for it, but as it looks bad. So 2.
Okay. Next up, we have a rare minion for Hunter. It's called Blood Scalp Strategist, a 3 mana 2/4 with the card text that reads Battlecry. If you have a weapon equipped, discover a spell.
That looks good.
It looks good. I mean, there's Candle Shot, there's Eagle Horn Bow, there's a bunch of other like weapons that Hunter has or whatever. Spell Hunter is a thing, and I still believe that Spell Hunter will still be a thing next expansion. To be honest, yeah, I have nothing bad to say about it. I would give it like a 3.5 to a 4.
Yeah, when I play Secret Hunter, I regularly like have my bow just buffed, you know, with like a 3, it might be a 3/5.
Right.
So having a weapon equipped to discover a spell.
Yeah, it's good.
But the 3 mana 2/4. I don't know. But like even though it's fine by itself, I don't know, like are you gonna play a 3 mana 2/4 to discover a spell? I mean you get another secret from it possibly.
Yeah.
It's probably good. I mean
I
people
mean,
play
Kill
the
Command, Animal Companion, another Spellstone possibly.
yeah.
Any of the
Or like
secrets. Yeah, I
I
think
mean
it's
Stitch
pretty good.
Tracker is decent enough to be played.
Right.
So even at that stat line, so it's probably good.
Yeah. Um Next up, we have a common mage spell. This is the reason why Mana Worm was apparently nerfed. It's called Elemental Evocation. It's 0 mana, and it has a card text that reads: "The next elemental you play this turn costs 2 less."
Evocation.
Evocation, sorry. Thank you. Yeah, thoughts?
Good for elemental mage, but you're wasting a card that doesn't do much on its own.
Yeah. I feel like also a
It's
lot
like
of
an
the
innervate.
yeah, it's good. I feel like a lot of elementals are already like pretty cheap already, so I don't know what I would replace to put this card in my deck.
I mean, there was the
But
6 mana 3/3 deal whatever to all the minions.
well, that is
That was
true.
that.
Which will now make it a 4 mana 3/3, which will just be just as broken as Duskbreaker, I guess.
But yeah, like 0 mana spells are kind of gross to me. Like they don't do enough on their own. You're kind of wasting a spot in your deck.
Right, exactly. That's the fear of just having it like spiral out of like they just don't like that cheap spell type of stuff to spiral out of control. Yeah,
You
I
lose a
give it
card advantage.
yeah, exactly. I don't know, 2 or 3 probably for me.
Yeah, I mean it's an innervate and elemental mage, but that's the only ramp card.
Mm-hmm.
Except for maybe the 4/5. Is that still in standard? The 4/5.
I believe so.
Leyline manipulator. Yeah,
Yeah,
for now.
but that's gonna rotate out pretty soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
And kobolds.
2.5 or 3 for me.
Yeah.
Probably
It's
lower
not.
to be honest. I'm probably like giving that like way better of stats or whatever.
It's probably a 2.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can see it being really good in the right deck.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it will see that much play. I just can't justify a lot of like like shoving this into a deck or whatever to remove like I just don't know what I would replace to be able to get that type of ability. That seems like meh to me, but we'll see. Next up we have a common priest spell called Seance. Seance?
Is it Seance?
Seance? Sure, Seance. That's why I have Carson here to correct me. It's 2 mana with the card text that reads, choose a minion, add a copy of it to your hand.
I think it's good.
Yeah, it's good. What's that one card that's you? Is that for the rogue? They use it in Quest Rogue. Like add a golden copy of a card to your hand.
Oh yeah, but it
Right.
also combos with Talanji as well.
Oh, that's a good point.
I think that's pretty good.
I think it's good. 3.5 or 4.
Yeah, I'd say 4.
Next up we have the legendary rogue card. It is a pirate. It is an 8 mana 6/3 called Captain Tusk, with the card text that reads, battle cry, summon 3 pirates from your deck, give them rush.
Is that separate from recruit? So it's a copy?
No, so they mentioned this in like another previous thing or whatever. Summon 3 is basically recruit.
Why don't they just call it recruit?
Because recruit is a keyword from kobolds and catacombs, and they don't want to confuse new players. That's literally what they said. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's yeah. So it's literally recruiting 3 cards from your deck that are pirates. I don't think it's that good, to be honest. A lot of pirate cards are statted like super low.
Yeah, and they're all gone.
And most of them are gone. And the ones that are statted pretty high that I can think of off the top of my head, like Captain Greenskin and stuff like that. Like you want, like it's obviously not going to do that battle cry effect when it's recruited onto the board, right? So you want that. You don't want that card to be recruited from this. At the same time, this is like an 8 mana 6/3. Like it just costs too much. I feel like stats aren't that great. The cards that it's going to summon are going to be cards that are like cards that pirates that are going to gain rush that aren't going to be that spectacular, and the ones that are going to have like decent stats for a pirate card, you don't want them to recruit out of your deck. So I honestly would give this probably like a 1.5 to 2.
Are there any other pirates that are new in this set?
No, not that I know of.
Yeah, because like the pirates.
I believe there's like one, and it's like a death rattle, and it's like something to do with like drawing a pirate from your deck or something like that. But even then, that's like a 2/2 or something like that.
Yeah, because there's Cursed Castaway, which is a 5/3, which already has Rush. So
Right.
you need like 2 of those, but then
There's
you're just
a
giving them Rush.
there's a
It's like a
oh yeah. There's a couple. So there's Ticket Scalper, a 4-mana 5/3 pirate overkill, draw 2 cards. And then there's Shark Fan, which is a 2-mana 2/2. After your hero attacks, summon a 1/1 pirate. That's your hero. And then there's also let's see. Bloodsail Howler, Rush Battlecry, gain +1/+1 for each other pirate you control, but you don't want that to come out of Hook Tusk because that Battlecry won't activate. And that's really it.
Yeah, with the Rush, I feel like the Rush effect is just like a board clear, and then your board's like empty because they all die. It seems bad.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if it wasn't just linked to Rogue, it'd be good. But I don't know, 1.5, 2. That's what I would think.
2.
Okay. Let's see. What are we at? Oh, okay. Let me open these really quick. Next. Gotta wait for the computer to load. Okay. Next up, we have an epic shaman spell called Big Bad Voodoo. It's 2 mana and it has the card text that reads: "Give a friendly minion death rattle. Summon a random minion that costs 1 more." Eh.
Is that just a worse evolve?
I mean, that's literally what it sounds like.
That sounds really bad.
It sounds like an arena card.
How much? Like, isn't Unstable Evolution 1 mana?
Yeah, and it's Echo essentially.
Oh, but it's a death rattles. So it's not as bad. Because it's a death rattle, so you can still use the previous minion. Then you get a random,
Yeah, I think it's bad.
but it's not a strictly worse evolve. It's
True.
different,
True. It's definitely a different mechanic.
but it still doesn't seem that good.
Yeah, that being said, I don't like it at all. 1 or 2 for me, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the opposite of a shredder,
Mhm.
or so in that sense, it's not bad. I mean, death rattle. Is there a death rattle shaman at all?
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's not that good.
Yeah,
So I'd give it 2.
fair enough. The warrior legendary minion is up next, called Akali the Rhino. It's an 8 mana 5/5 beast with the card text that reads: "Rush, overkill. Draw a rush minion from your deck. Give it +5/+5." I don't know. I think if it
Yeah,
didn't cost 8, it would be pretty good.
yeah. The turn that you'd play it, like you can't do anything else. But then
Yeah,
it makes your gray main super good
that is true.
if it's only gray main. Yeah, I think
I mean, at worst, you're going
Handa.
to be drawing like what, a 6/6, I guess, if there's any rush minions that are 1/1s or whatever. But even then, like you said, you can't play it. Like you can't really do anything else besides probably hero power that turn.
Yeah, and the condition is pretty restrictive for an 8 mana 5/5. Like you have to kill something, so it has to have 4 health left,
Right.
and then you lose your Akali.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna die against something that was worth killing, possibly. I
Right.
mean, but if it lives, the overkill effect can happen again, so it can snowball. But I think it's kind of a win more card.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that the 8 mana stat is just like way too high.
Yeah, I think it would
As
be like
well.
an auto include in rush decks though.
Yeah, I could see that. But I don't know. I'll just give it a solid 3 or 2.5 to 3.
Yeah, it's hard to say. That one, like, it's so restrictive with like overkill and 8 mana 5/5. It's probably good though. I'm actually gonna go with like 3.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Rush Warrior is not really a thing either, so I just
I
don't
played it.
really. Is it good?
I'm not playing it now. I think since the latest set came out, like everyone switched to the Doctor Boom deck.
Right, the odd warrior one. But
Yeah,
yeah, well, I don't know. It will see play probably, but it's a meh card. It's
yeah.
average, I should say. Next up we have a rare warrior minion, a 5-mana 5/5 dragon called Ember Scale Drake with the card text that reads Battle Cry, if you're holding a dragon, gain 5 armor. Apparently Dragon Warrior is going to be a thing.
Yeah, did they make new dragon cards?
I am not sure.
Does Warrior have a single dragon card for its own class? No. Oh, the Dragon Warrior was a thing. Like you had Champion Alexstrasza's. What else?
It was a thing for like a little bit, and then like it would just like kind of went away, I feel like.
It went with Pirate Warrior
Right.
becoming stronger, and yeah, there's probably a deck for that. I don't get the dragon synergy, like if they have other dragon cards, but
I'm trying to see if there is like a
there's
dragon.
Crowd Roaster, the next card. That's a new dragon.
Oh yeah. There's also, let's see, War Master. There's a War Master card, a legendary 4-mana 4/3. Copy all dragons in your hand. Smolder Thorn Lancer, 3-mana 3/2 battle cry. If you're holding a dragon, destroy damaged enemy minion. And a neutral that's Fire Tree Witch Doctor. If you're holding a dragon, discover a spell.
I mean, essentially, it's an auto include in Dragon Warrior control.
Odd dragon.
Yeah,
Warrior
Crowd,
control deck.
they're 5 mana. The next one, Crowd Roaster, is 7 mana.
Yeah.
So it goes in that deck.
Yeah, definitely.
If that deck is good, this card's good.
And I mean, you have the neutral dragons, which are all pretty good as well, I guess. But I would just give it a 3. I wouldn't say it's awful. I wouldn't say it's stupendous or great. It's just kind of there.
I'm gonna say 4 because if that deck is good, that card's good.
That's fair. And then yeah, we have the card that Carson just mentioned, a neutral epic dragon minion called Crowd Roaster, a 7-mana 7/4 dragon with a card text that reads Battle Cry, if you're holding a dragon, deal 7 damage to an enemy minion. Yeah, I think this kind of goes along the same train of thought that we had with the previous card, where if, Dragon Warrior is a thing and it's used, and then I think that this kind of goes the same way. This will be good.
Yeah, this one is a neutral card.
Yeah.
So who else has dragon synergy?
Priest, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's really the only archetype that's like priest. I guess like dragon priest has in the past been pushed a lot, right? But
yeah, but I can see that being played. It just sucks that they're going from mechs to dragons again, and
yeah,
like you have to just remake your deck completely in between sets if you want to play control warrior. I kind of wish that they worked better together.
No, I get you. Yeah, I just give once again. I'd probably give this card, I don't know, 3.5, 3.5, maybe a 4.
I think it's a little weaker because it's a 7/4.
Okay.
But the 7 damage is good.
Yeah.
But it costs 7. Like it's so expensive. But it's good for control.
Yeah. So what would you give it?
This card by itself, 2 to 3.
Okay.
3 for that dragon deck being good.
Right. Next up, we have a common neutral minion, Sightless Ranger, 5 mana, 3/4, with the card text that says Rush, Overkill, Summon 2, 1/1 bats. Just yeah, 1 or 2 for me.
Are the bats beasts?
The bats are beasts, correct?
Yeah. It looks like an arena card.
Yeah, 1 or 2 for me.
Yeah,
5 mana for a 3/4 with Rush. You have to kill something with below 2 health. At 5 mana to summon 2 1/1 bats that don't have Rush, that our beast. That's cool, but I don't know. No, I don't like it. One or two for me.
Yeah, it's arena only, and
Yeah.
even then, it's like a 2.
Yeah. So next up we have. Oh, let me open these two. Okay, next up we have the legendary Druid minion Gonk the Raptor, a 7-mana 4/9 beast with the card text that reads: after your hero attacks and kills a minion, it may attack again. Meh. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's odd druid.
It's odd druid.
It's 7 mana.
Yeah,
So
it cost a lot. It cost as much as playing your druid death knight.
yeah, it actually looks pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't like it.
7
it's
mana
like
4/9.
and like its card text in itself doesn't really do much like for the card itself. Like it has so you have to spend like so it's really like realistically it's like a 9 mana, right? 4/9 because you have or like if you have, I guess, like other cards that allow your druid to attack, which those cards really aren't in the meta right now. Like blood, you can't even play like on the same turn. Like there's not much you can do besides your hero power, right? So it's realistically like a 9 mana 4/9. And then even then, like you would probably have to set it up beforehand with your DK druid. So yeah, I don't think this is good. 1 or 2.
Yeah, I'd give it a 1.
Next up we have a druid spell, 4 mana, Mark of the Loa, with the card text that reads: choose one, give a minion +2/+4, and taunt, or summon 2 3/2 raptors. And the raptors are 2 mana 3/2s, and they have beast synergy.
Thinking about it.
I'm right. Like initial thoughts are just that it's a good. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's like super super good. It's just somewhere in the middle for me
Looks good in
personally.
arena.
Yeah, it's probably going to be pretty good in arena. It will show some annoyance in standard. I feel like as well. But
I don't think it's that good though. Maybe 2.
two or 3 for me. Next up we have a common priest minion called Sand Drudge. 3 mana 3/3 with a card text that says whenever you cast a spell, summon a 1/1 zombie with taunt. The zombie is a 1/1 with no I guess class or whatever, and just has taunt.
No tribe.
Yeah, no tribe. Sorry. Meh.
That's not bad. I mean,
It,
it's 3 mana 3/3, and then
it's a
like
weaker violet teacher, I guess. But then you would have to buff up your 1/1s.
yeah, I think
With
it's actually
something.
good because
Really?
spend a lot of like you have
That is true. They with Lyra, it could be
yeah,
really annoying
Lyra.
to be able to summon a bunch of 1/1 taunts to be able to protect that or whatever. So actually, yeah, you're right.
It's good anti-aggro.
Yeah. 3.5 or 4 for me.
Yeah, I mean it's situational for sure. It depends on like what cards you can combo with it.
Right.
But priest like with the 2/3 elemental and Lyra, I mean they spam a lot of spells, get a lot of taunts. But yeah, I mean it's good anti-aggro. I mean if you flood the board, they might be good on their end too. It's not bad.
Right. I think they messed up this like this next card because I don't really understand why there's another card with it or whatever. Something probably could be wrong with the site or whatever, but whatever. I'm just gonna read what it is. But it's a common priest spell called Regenerate, 0 mana, restore 3 health.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
saw
not
like
sure why this other card's next to it, guys. I'm sorry about that.
the priest one.
Yeah. There's like a card next to it called Halftime Scavenger, 4 mana, 3/5 stealth, overkill, gain 3 armor.
I don't even see that.
feel like the page is bugged or something.
Oh, I'm looking at a different page. But yeah, regenerate. People are saying is like stupidly strong
I think it is.
for combo priests.
Oh yeah, I think it is for sure. I think it's gonna be super. Yeah, I think it's a 4 or a 5 to be honest. In combo priest, it's gonna be really really strong, and just in general, like it's for no cost. You get 3 more health or whatever. And priests are already super annoying with their healing and stuff as well. It's gonna
Yeah,
be well in
especially
Lyra. It's gonna be well in just any type of decks where healing is now all of a sudden damage. You do 6 damage if you have this, plus whatever other healing spells you have. Yeah, I think it's good.
I saw a new priest card that also has the effects of Akanai Soul Priest for that turn only. That's 2 mana.
Okay.
So pull that combo off even easier
Yeah.
with Velen, Malagos. I think it's really good.
Yeah. This is a
Sure.
4 or 5 for sure.
Yeah, because they tried to avoid like the old like healing potion did
Hmm.
only 12 healing to an ally,
Right.
right? Because they didn't want that to get too strong. I think
Hmm.
that I mean, I'm sure that they get that people are going to do that with this card,
Right.
but maybe not the extent that it's going to be able to combo.
Yeah. But yeah, 4 or 5 for me for sure.
Hmm.
Next up we have a rare shaman minion, a 3 mana 3/3 elemental called Bog Slosher, with the card text that reads Battle Cry, return a friendly minion to your hand and give it +2/+2. Okay.
I'm just thinking of Shutter Walk and how annoying that's going to
This
be.
is gonna be super annoying. Well, yeah, this is gonna be pretty dumb. But the thing is like it's good, but at the point in which you've already played Shutterwalk, it's not that you have already instantly won the game, but it's like you were mentioning earlier, where it's like just another card where it's like you're more winning. You know, like
Hmm.
you're most likely going to have multiple copies of Shutterwalk in your hand anyway at this point, even if you return the first Shutterwalk or whatever. Yeah, it gets +2/+2, but you're not really worried about Shutterwalks actually hitting face or going anything with the board. You just mostly care about all their battle cries. So I think it's just a situational card. I don't think it's like I think it's good, but I don't know if it'll actually necessarily get play. You know?
I think it's good, and I think
Okay.
it will be played.
I mean, I'm still gonna give it a 4 for
Yeah,
sure, but it's debatable. I don't know. I can see it being played, but I'll still give it a 4.
yeah, I'll go to 4.
Um, next up we have a neutral legendary minion called the Undertaker. Also, it has the best card text in the game. If you guys ever look that up, flavor text. But it is a 8 mana 8/5, and it has the card text that reads Battle Cry. Gain the death row effects of 3 friendly minions that died this game. Um,
This one's going to be weird. I mean,
this is more of a meme card, I think.
but I saw some combo with the death rattle, like of it going back into your deck, and I don't remember what it was, but this is gonna have some stupid effects.
Yeah.
Like it,
Um,
but I like it.
I actually like it too. I think I think there's gonna be some pretty funny. I think this is like the card that you use if you want to get into a YouTube highlight for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's gonna combo really well with like priest again, and
yeah,
it seems really strong to me, even though it's only an 8/5.
yeah. I'd give it like a 4.
Hmm.
Um, next up we have a neutral epic minion, a 7 mana 5/10 called Line Cracker, with the card text that reads Overkill, double this minion's attack. Arena card,
Yeah,
pretty much.
it's too slow.
Yeah. Just gonna give it a 3.
Like you double the minion's attack, then I mean, in a couple turns, like that might win the game yourself in arena at least.
Right.
So yeah, 3.
Yeah.
But other than an arena, I don't think it's good. I mean, it's a neutral card.
Right. Next is another neutral card, an epic minion, a 5-mana 3/8 called Snapjaw Shell Fighter. With the card text that says, whenever an adjacent minion takes damage, this minion takes it instead. I think this is a pretty good card. I think it's pretty situational, but I think there's going to be like I feel like there's going to be situations where this card's actually going to be probably played. I saw some pretty funny combos, or like people were just saying that this card's basically just going to protect the snails, like those poisonous snails that like are on board or whatever, to make them stick better or whatever.
Yeah, it looks
Um,
good.
If you
For
can
snails.
set it up for like poisonous creatures or those type of creatures, then for sure it's going to be good.
I think it's going to be really good in Warrior. Because instead of damaging a minion that you play, you just damage that instead. You keep your frothing berserkers alive.
Right.
They get insane damage.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's going to be really good in Warrior.
Yeah, I'd give it like a 4.
Yeah, and even the mana cost isn't too high. Like, it'll live
Oh yeah,
at a
sure.
3/8
Right.
for 5 mana. That seems pretty good to me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, those are good stats. Like the 8 health for 5 mana is crazy.
Yeah, that's gonna be a card that I actually get two of, or want to get two of, or whatever, just to like mess around with it or whatever for sure. Next up, a neutral epic minion, a 5-mana 6/5 called Mosh Ogue Announcer. Card text: enemies attacking this have a 50% chance to attack someone else. Yeah. I don't know. Meme card.
If it attacks someone else, can it attack their own side?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I guess,
like-
yeah. I guess because it doesn't say friendly.
Yeah, because did Mogre the Ogre just cause you to hit enemies still?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it can cause you to hit people on their own side, then it's really good.
Right.
Like, it's kind of like a warrior weapon that causes, what's it called? The 5 mana one, whatever.
Oh, the Super Collider or whatever.
Yeah, it reminds me a bit of that. I mean, it's a 50% chance. I mean, it would be good for arena.
Oh yeah, these ogre type of cards are always like super good. Like they're always seen being played in like arena or whatever. I don't think that this would be played in standard at all though. Like it might. There might be situations, but I don't know. I really doubt it. 5 mana though, so like you said, it could be seen in warrior for sure.
The power of the card depends on whether someone else includes like their own side.
Right. I'm pretty sure it's like all minions or whatever, including face, like their own face as well, because it doesn't specify friendly, because usually it would specify that if it was only like friendly or only enemy or opponent, right? Enemies attacking this have a 50% chance to attack another opponent's minion or something. It would specify, so it's probably free game to just attack anything, literally.
But yeah, probably arena only, because like you can just ignore it or remove it.
Right.
In standard.
Yeah, I would give it like a 2.5 to 3.5 maybe.
Depending on the effect.
Yeah.
But probably bad in standard, decent in arena.
Almost there. We have a handful of more cards. Actually, Carson, if you need to go at any time, let me know. I don't mind if you need to bail early.
Good.
Okay, just letting you know, because we have actually a lot. Like these are like minor compared to what we have coming up like next or whatever in our last page or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So we have a lot. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So if you need to go at any time, feel free to. I don't mind finishing up the card review on my own. Don't feel pressured to stayed. Next up, we have an epic druid minion, a 5-mana 4/4 called Tree Speaker. With the card text that reads Battlecry, transform your Churents into 5/5 ancients. An ancient is just a 5-mana 5/5 that has no tribe to it. I actually think that this card is pretty good if like the Tyrants or Trents, whatever they're called, actually Treants, yeah, get like play. Because I know that they introduced like a ton of them like last expansion, I believe, right? Or like an expansion. In Witchwood. That's what it was. There was like a bunch of cards that were like just summon a bunch of 2/2s or like summon this or summon that. I feel like if that deck becomes like an actual thing, it's pretty good. Other than that, if that doesn't see any, I mean, this is so like I hate how Blizzard pushes like certain archetypes or tribes, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna give it a 3 to be safe. I guess it's just one of those cards where it can either be really good or just really really bad. Just depends on if that actually becomes like a meta thing.
Yeah, if you can have a board full of trance, buff it, and that'll be like your finisher. I mean, but then you might as well play Savage Roar, right?
Right.
But for like mid-range control, board control, I mean, buffing your minions, it's kind of like the Odd Paladin spell, right? Give your silver hand
Oh
recruits
yeah.
+2/+2.
Right.
It's not strictly Odd Paladin, but
Right.
level up. It's kind of like that,
Yeah.
but instead of silver hand recruits, it's trance.
Right.
It's probably good in that deck. I
Right.
think it, yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
It
It's
has
super
potential.
situational. Just really it really depends if that becomes a meta type of deck or whatever. Um Next up we have the Hunter legendary card, which is actually a playable hero. If you guys didn't know, every single expansion since basically Frozen Throne, I believe, right? They've come out with a playable hero card that yeah, that is just like those DKs that have come out, and it's usually one per set lately, and they've been rotating. We've had Doctor Boom previously, we've had Hagatha for Shaman, Doctor Boom was for Warrior. Now we have a Hunter playable hero, Zul'jin. It's 10 mana. It gains 5 armor, and it has the battle cry. Cast all spells you've played this game, targets chosen randomly with the hero power deal 2 damage, and the deal 2 damage is like the mage hero power. You can choose where that 2 damage goes. I actually don't like this card. I think it's I think it's I think this card will get better once
Mhm.
the Deathstalker Rexar leaves the meta.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. Like, it's not better than Deathstalker. Like,
Yeah.
Deathstalker wins games by itself.
Yeah, like there would be no reason for me to play Deathstalker. Then like turn 10 comes, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play Zul'jin, and now all my spells that I've casted, Animal Companions and kill commands and whatever else just get cast randomly. Like I don't know, it's just I think it will be pretty decent. If like Spell Hunter becomes a thing
Spell
after
Hunter is it?
Rexar. Well,
Yeah,
after
yeah.
Rexar rotates out, right? Um, but I think beyond that, it's not that great of a hero card.
Yeah, I think it needs that to rotate. You need to be careful with a couple spells. Like, you're not going to want to play Kill Command in this
Right.
deck. You're going to be good playing like Unleash the Hounds, Emerald Spellstone,
Yeah, Animal Companion.
uh, but then you even like 4 mana. There it is. Flanking Strike is still like good in this because you at least get the 3/3.
Right.
So I think it's good. Once
Grab my
Rexar
phone.
rotates.
Yeah, I just think it's like an average card. I think that it will be buffed and be a lot better within once the rotation happens basically.
Hmm.
Um Next up we have a epic hunter ability, a 1 mana card called the Beast Within with the card text that reads give a friendly beast +1/+1, then it attacks a random enemy minion.
That seems really good. That's
Yeah,
his
this
second attack.
yeah, this actually seems pretty decent or whatever. Um, yeah, I I would give this probably a 3.5 to a 4.
I'd give it a 4. I mean, it sucks that it's epic.
Yeah.
Seems like it would be pretty like staple in any beast
Yep.
style hunter deck.
Yeah. Next up we have a epic mage spell, a secret actually. It's a 3 mana called Splitting Image with the card text that reads secret. When one of your minions is attacked, summon a copy of it. I think it's pretty good.
I don't know. Like in a minion based deck, it's yeah. I mean, another secret elemental mage.
Yeah. I think that's what they're really pushing. Someone was saying here that it summons a copy of the minion before its attack, since secrets trigger first as
Ooh,
well.
okay.
So yeah, like if I guess for example, a mana worm's attacked or something like that, it will be attacked. Then another mana worm will be copied with full health and full stats, and then the original mana worm will be attacked. Whatever. So, I think knowing that, if I think it's a pretty good card actually
Yeah, it's probably good.
for a secret. 4.
I'll give it a 3 because it's kind of like mirror image.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can see. I know what you mean.
I mean, you don't necessarily like. All right, one of the problems with this card is that they might attack the weak minion or whatever, and then you'd have to like avoid playing that weak minion to make this card good.
Right.
So it's not. It depends on a lot.
Yeah, I can see that. I still think that it's still pretty good, even at 3 mana. Yeah, I don't know. I still like it.
Yeah.
Next up, we have a rare mage spell, a 4 mana called Scorch, with the card text that reads: deal 4 damage to a minion, cost 1 if you played an elemental last turn. So once again, they're trying to push the elemental tribe. I think that, yeah, I think it's good. I think that if elemental mage becomes a thing or whatever, this is actually a pretty decent card.
Exactly. Yeah. Really good in
Um,
elemental mage, but that's it.
yeah, that's really it or whatever. I guess Firefly's still around for a little bit too as well. But the thing is, like, I would just run a fireball at that point, even with the discount or whatever, and having to combo that or whatever. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I would give it a 3.
Depends. Yeah. I'd probably give it a 3 for elemental mage.
Yeah. Next up, we have a rare priest ability called Mass Hysteria, cost 5 mana, with the card text that says force each minion to attack another random minion. I think this is pretty funny or whatever. Like the first comment that's on this card is it's brawl, but it's actually a brawl.
Oh yeah.
Which I think is kind of funny or whatever. The ability with it looks pretty funny, where like a whole like little like priest like circle goes around all the minions, and they just start brawling and fighting each other, and everything's pretty much random. They just attack each other. Totally random or whatever. Death rattles will still trigger, and poisons will still trigger, and all those cards where if this takes damage, this will trigger. All that stuff will still happen during or after the brawl card is, or mass hysteria is done being played. Yeah. I don't know. Once again, a 3 and a half maybe.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
give
think
it a
it's
4.
incredibly bad.
4 to 5.
Really? Why do you say
Really
that?
good board. It's a really strong board clear. Like Priest doesn't have a lot of them.
That's true.
I mean, they have like it seems better than Brawl, right?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna be able to predict the outcome a little better, and that's what Priest needs is better board clears because they have the 7 mana Psychic Scream, which this seems stronger than because it actually kills the minions.
Right.
But I mean, they're different effects.
Next
Psychic,
up. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, because like death rattles and stuff still occur. I'm just thinking about it still.
No, yeah, for sure.
I think it's good. I think it's really good.
Yeah. Next up, we have a rare rogue minion, a 2 mana 1/1 pirate called Bloodsail Howler, with the card text that reads: Rush, Battlecry, gain +1/+1 for each pirate you control.
I don't think the deck's gonna work.
Yeah. I think that if the deck does work, it's still like an okay card.
Yeah, and
It's
why
probably
would you
like a
give
3.5 or 4, but
why does the legendary have give minions rush when the minions already have rush
yeah, exactly.
and a battle cry? Like that's not gonna does that rogue's rogue minion summon or give them battle cries? Like it's gonna summon them and then they're
Right.
not gonna get their battle cries. So that's bad synergy
Yeah.
between the two of them.
So
bad.
Bad card, because it just doesn't make sense, because you're gonna want to play this and then probably dump a bunch of pirates on board, and then when you get to Skyhook, the 8-mana legendary rogue card, and play that, it's not gonna summon anything. So then you might as well just not play Skyhook and just play this, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
worse with Skyhook.
Exactly. So,
But by itself, it's meh.
I do not think that Pirate Rogue is going to be a thing.
Not with that card. Not with Skyhook.
It's even as well, so you can't put it into Odd Rogue. So, yeah, it's like a 1 or a 2.
Yeah, probably a 2. It's probably better than Skyhook.
That's true.
But it's not gonna work.
Right. Shaman Legendary Minion is next, a 6-mana 4/6 beast called Krogwa the Frog, with the card text that reads, Battlecry, return all spells you played last turn to your hand.
I think this requires too much foresight.
Yeah.
Because you have to spend your turn 5 or whatever. Like, you play the spell knowing that you're going to play Krogwa next, but then the board state's going to be different by the time you get to play Krogwa.
Yeah, I mean, it's that, and then on top of it, just like a lot of the spells that I can think of off the top of my head that I would probably want back have Overload. So I'm probably not even going to be able to play Krogwa to get many spells back, and if so, it would just be like 1 copy of something, Like, if I'm playing this on curve, I'm definitely not, like, it's definitely not going to get back whatever I wanted from the previous turn because of Overload. So, I don't know, 2 or 3 for me.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. Like, you need to play a bunch of spells that turn, get them back in your hand. Like, it doesn't seem that good. But who knows? Probably some kind of weird combos can be made from it.
Unstable Evolution.
Yeah.
That could be a thing.
Isn't that already rotated?
No, Unstable Evolution is still in the meta. That was Kobolds and Catacombs.
Got
it. It has a little bit left.
Oh, but then you fill your hand with it.
Oh, that's true. Never mind. You wouldn't want that card because it would probably make multiple copies of it. Okay, never mind.
Right. Yeah.
Forget it. Nope. 2 or 3 for this card, I would say. Let's see here. Where were we? Oh, yeah, we're right here. Boom.
Spirit of the Rhino.
Boom. Yep. So, Spirit of the Rhino, a rare warrior minion. Their spirit card, a 1-mana 0/3 with a card text that says, Stealth for 1 turn. Your rush minions are immune the turn they're summoned. Okay. This could actually be pretty good.
Yeah, this is another card I'd say is required in Rush Warrior, and it makes the legendary better.
What is the legendary? I don't even remember what the legendary did. Oh, the
8-mana 5/5.
8-mana 5/5 with rush. Overkill. Summon a 5/5 rush. Yeah. I mean, now you have something to do, I guess. Instead of just hero powering that turn. Yeah, I think that this is actually a pretty good card. I agree with you. It's probably going to be a staple in Rush Warrior. Yeah, probably a 4 or 5 for me. To be honest,
it's gonna be required for that deck
for sure, definitely. Next up, we have is this neutral? This is. We have a neutral legendary card called Mojo Master Zihi. 6-mana 5/5. Battlecry, set each player to 5 mana crystals.
Oh, that's cool.
This is actually something that I wanted to get your take on. I don't really have much of a take on it. I think it's pretty cool as well, but I know that you like these type of cards that interact pretty differently in Hearthstone, so I just wanted to get your take on it.
Yeah, so I mean, like, it's 6 mana, so obviously, like, each player has more than that, and then you're gonna be able to play something else before this as well. If you play a turn 10, you can play a 4-mana card, right, or 4 mana worth of cards, and you just like destroy the other player's tempo.
Right.
I really like it. Like, that's gonna open up some really cool strategies.
Yeah, for sure. I actually like the flavor of the card, so I'm kind of like, I would probably give it like a 4. I don't think it's like I mean, it's probably gonna be actually that good, but I would probably give it a 3.5 to a 4, maybe even a 4.5, just because I like what it does. I saw this card and I was like, oh, that's really unique. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's
And
kind of like a togwaggle type effect.
yeah, exactly. And I like cards that kind of like mess with players like mana crystals and stuff like that. I feel like there could be like a lot more of that. Rather, yeah, I just like this effect.
Can also combo really well with like Twig of the World Tree. Like you brick your opponent's mana and then get your 10 mana back, and you're at a huge advantage.
Ooh, that's a good point too. If you can if you can play this, then break it, then game back, then
Yeah, then you're gonna like destroy your opponent.
yeah.
Especially like with cards like the Druid one, Biology Project.
Oh yeah. Each player gains 2 mana crystals.
Yeah, so I don't know, you combo it together. It has cool effects.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
I'm not saying necessarily play that. Like you'd want to ramp first, get to 10, I don't know, then destroy the other person's mana, get your mana back. Yeah,
Right.
maybe Biology Project isn't the right card for that, but because it doesn't really work in that combo.
I enjoyed either way.
But yeah, I like it.
I
I
like
don't
it
know if it's
too.
good, but I like the card.
I do too. We're on to our last final thing. Carson, are you still good?
I'm good.
Okay, we're gonna power through these guys. I know that the episode's going a lot longer than usual, but this is the last one. This was the card reveal that happened between Peter Whalen and Brian Kibler. We had about 30 or so cards being revealed, so we're gonna try to get through these cards as fast as possible for you guys. But yeah, we're almost to the home stretch here. Druid got a common spell. It's a 0 mana called Pounce, and it says give your hero +2 attack this turn. This is supposed to obviously combo with the Loa and the Spirit, obviously, with everything. I I like the card. I think it's average to below average, probably, so like a 2 or a 3. I don't find anything like spectacular with it though, but yeah.
So just before I forget, Brian Kibler is a really nice guy. If you ever meet him,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Do you want to tell that story, Carson?
No, we don't need to tell the story.
Okay, Carson
Just,
met Brian Kibler at BlizzCon. He was a
yeah,
very nice guy, and I met him too. He's
we
a very,
met
very nice dude.
we met Brian Kibler. People in a group at 3 different occasions each time. He's outstanding.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy.
Mhm.
And I feel like watching the live, like what I always look forward to whenever he's on one of these card reveals, because he just thinks of things that like I just don't think of. You know what I mean? Like ways to
Yeah.
utilize cards and stuff. But anyway, yeah. So what do you think of this card?
I mean, it probably enables that hero power odd druid deck. I mean,
Right.
actually, no, wait. 0 mana is even, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so never mind. Then it sucks. But I mean, if you're gonna play that deck outside of that archetype, I don't know. Actually, seeing that it's 0 mana, like maybe it would actually be better at 1 mana with the same effect. I'm not sure.
No,
What do you think?
Why do you say it would be better at 1 mana?
Because then you can at least play it in odd druid.
Oh, right, because it has to be an even druid or whatever, because they technically said that. Yeah, I don't know. Like you said earlier, like a lot of the 1 mana or 0 mana cards that are just kind of like underwhelming or whatever. I just think it's an average card. I can definitely see it being played, but I don't know what I would shove this in to replace, right? If it's not synergizing with the hero power thing. So yeah, I give it a 2 or a 3 to be honest.
I just don't know how to make it work.
Yeah, I'm like stumped with this one. I mean, that's pretty much
I don't understand it because it doesn't work with the rest. Like the rest of the cards, aren't they all odd? The
yeah.
hero power related ones.
Yep. So
Yeah.
this is the one card where they're like,
Yeah, I don't know.
we're not gonna tip this over the scale or whatever for whatever reason.
Maybe they want it to be bad. To nerf druid.
Yeah. Next up, we have the legendary hunter minion, a 5 mana 3/2 beast called, I don't even know how to say this, Halazi, the Lynx. Halazi, sure.
Maybe.
The Lynx. Card text that reads Battlecry, fill your hand with 1/1 links that have rush. The links are obviously 1/1 links that have rush that are in the beast tribe. Hmm. I don't know.
Halazi.
You're definitely. See, the thing
It's
is,
like
you're
Unleash the Hounds.
yeah.
How much mana is the Lynx? Is it 1 mana?
It's a 1 mana 1/1 with rush.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, you're not gonna want to play. You're gonna want to play this like not on turn 5, right? Because your whole hand's gonna be filled with them, and then you're gonna burn something that's
I think it's
probably more useful.
overcosted
Yeah. It's
because
also a 3/2, and it doesn't have rush as well. So this
yeah.
is just gonna die as well. And so you'd probably want to play this like the earliest at 6, so you could at least play a Lynx, so that your hand doesn't get like so you don't burn a card.
Yeah.
But then even then, once again, Deathstalker Rexar, right? If you have that card in your hand, you're not going to be playing this on turn 6 when you probably should play it so you don't burn a card. So I don't really see a place where this fits in. It would definitely be like a late game card, but then even then, yeah, like even then, you just play Unleash the Hounds, right? Yeah, it's like a 2 or 3 for me, to be honest.
I think it's just too expensive.
Yeah, I
Like
think if it was cheaper, it would be way overpowered, though.
the card itself, 5 mana 3/2, and then the Lynxes being 1 mana 1/1s is like you play the 1 mana 1/1 with Rush, it's gonna die unless you buff it.
Right.
Then you have no board after, like you get no tempo.
Right. Yeah, 2 or 3 for me.
Yeah, I'll give it a 2.
This wait, this might change your mind though.
Of course.
We forgot to mention about this, so maybe we'll have to take back our review really quick. But the Spirit Hunter card is next. It's a rare minion, a 3 mana 0/3 with the card text that reads Stealth for 1 turn. Whenever you summon a beast, give it +1/+1. So that changes a lot. Maybe it doesn't actually.
Yeah, it's still like clunky. You need both of them in your hand.
Yeah, you need both.
You need
Yeah.
how many? Like it's a 3 mana 0/3. How many Lynxes do you need to even make it worth it? But like for Unleash the Hounds, Spirit of Lynx is really strong.
It's a 6 mana combo, which is true.
Yeah, it just like it tries to enable Halazi a little bit, makes it better, but
I feel like there's a lot of like 3 mana spells with Hunter, and I don't know how much more spells or like cards you really can fit into the 3 mana slot. Like there's just a lot of cards. Like we already have Eaglehorn Bow, we already have Kill Command, we already have Unleash the Hounds, we already have Animal Companion. This is just like another 3 mana card that Hunter has, right? Where I feel like it's on the lowest of the totem pole, obviously, right? When it comes to just playing it on that turn, and then also just like potentially even like all I could see is the combo that you mentioned, where I would probably use this, but then I agree with you on your Unleash thing, where it's like
you need to summon at least 3 minions to like break even on stats too.
Yeah.
Kind of, so summon a beast, give it +1/+1. You're paying 3 mana 0/3, like so like it only gains value at that point, I feel.
Right.
So I think it's still kind of bad because it's too expensive.
Yeah. I would give this probably like a 2.5 to a 3.
But I mean, there could be a combo that, aside from Unleash the Hounds, that comes about that could make it better.
Right.
But like, it reminds me of the Paladin weapon, the 3 mana, right? Sword of Justice.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sword of Justice. Okay, after you summon a minion, give it +1/+1, and this loses 1 durability. So that can hit 5 minions.
Right.
That's more guaranteed. So it's kind of comparable to that.
Yeah, but it's also more versatile because you can choose if you want to just swing, or you can choose if you want to buff, or whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and even like Sword of Justice was never played either.
Yeah.
So
I think it's like kind of played in like hand buff paladins, right? But then even then, it's like that archetype's not really played in general, right?
yes, Spirit of the Lynx seems like it has infinite potential, but that's only if the opponent doesn't kill it. But then it's also like kind of healing for 3 in that sense as well, if the opponent kills it. So that's something that you can't forget either. Like you kind of heal for 3 with it. kind of. So it's I don't know. It depends. It's
Yeah.
meh.
Next up, we have a new hunter weapon called Headhunter's Hatchet. It's a 2 mana, 2 attack, 2 durability with a card text that reads Battlecry. If you control beasts, gain +1 durability.
I don't like the condition.
I don't like the condition either. The
Yeah.
condition will be able to be pulled off, but
It's
it doesn't
You're
really
not gonna
matter.
play it on turn 2
Yeah.
unless you have like a 1 mana minion. I don't like it. It it doesn't seem as good as the other hunter weapons to me.
Yeah, Candle Shot is super good. I mean, the thing is, though, once again, Candle Shot's rotating out, so this might just be the weapon that they play. But even then, you still have Eagle Horn Bow, unless that gets Hall of Famed, right? So yeah, meh. Maybe a 1 or I want to give it a 1, but I don't think it's going to see play right now either.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah,
2.
2, yeah, for sure. Next up, we have a common paladin spell called Flash of Light. It is 2 mana, and it has the card text that says restore 4 health, draw a card. This is really good, I think.
It could be,
I actually really like this or whatever.
but
I
it
think
doesn't. Paladin's a lot of spells that don't do anything. Like you
I get what you
play it,
mean.
you're. But this one draws a card. Okay, yeah.
I mean,
So
you heal paladins, do they need more healing? I don't know, but I guess heal paladin, is a thing. I mean,
control paladin, yeah. I mean it would be played in control paladin.
yeah, I mean,
It's a
if you think about
cantrip.
it, like Lay on Hands is 8 mana, right? And that's what heal. Wait, Lay on Hands is what, 6 mana?
Let me check.
I'll look it up too, real quick.
No, it's 8 mana,
Yeah,
3 cards, 8 health.
yeah.
That's played in control paladin.
And this is 2 mana, restore 4 health, draw a card. So like,
It's probably okay. I'm gonna say 3.
yeah, it's a 3, maybe a 3.5 for me. I like it.
But for that, like it's one of those cards that I mean it's terrible in arena.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's like why my drafts haven't been as good because I end up like I don't know how to build an arena deck anymore. But
Right.
that I know that wouldn't be good in it because it doesn't do anything.
Right.
It keeps you alive a little bit. But even then, like, okay, I'm thinking about the 4 mana 4/4 heal 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like palette. Why would you play this over that?
Right.
I mean, yeah, it depends. Control Paladin would play this probably
Yeah. I like it. I would still give it like solid 3, 4.
in Control Paladin. It's
Yeah.
decent, but otherwise it's crap.
I don't know. Even Paladin? You don't think they would play it?
What does even Paladin even do? Is it
It's
what's its
control.
goal?
It's pretty much control, right? Because it has Tyrion. It has Lich King. It has the was it +2, +6. Give a friendly minion taunt, death rattle card. Summons a Stegodon. So it will be played in that, I think,
Yeah, I mean it's a Control Paladin card.
for sure.
It just depends on that deck.
Next up, we have a common paladin weapon called Blood Claw, a 1 mana, 2 attack, 2 armor, or 2 durability, with the card text that reads Battlecry to deal 5 damage to your hero. Okay, this is bad.
I don't see the point.
I
Yeah,
don't.
like
I think it's for heal paladin because paladin like so this was obviously before you were here, but there's a card where it's basically like it's pretty much like Tess Greymane for paladin. That's their legendary card, but um it's like every time they heal or something, it does something or other. But either way, like regardless of that, like this is pretty bad. Like 5 damage is just way too much.
yeah, and I mean it's a 2 attack 2 durability weapon.
Right.
It's not that good.
Yeah.
Like you can kill 2 minions with it. I mean if you're playing against aggro, but then you're dealing 5 damage to yourself.
Plus whatever damage you do against yourself with the weapon, right?
Yeah, so unless like you get a bonus from healing yourself, which could be a combo, like there's a card that like does 5 damage to your hero and gives you 5 armor.
Right.
Uh, that like is maybe played in like a control warrior.
Mm-hmm.
because you want the armor, and then like obviously like exchanging that health for armor is good because then you can heal, or you can also like there's a bunch of effects
Right.
like drawing cards if you're damaged or whatever. But this doesn't seem good.
Yeah,
Like
5 damage is just like
yeah.
way too much. Like, what was that one card? It was like a 3-mana 5/5 from Warlock. It was like whenever you summon a minion, you deal 5 damage.
Right, and that wasn't used
That's not used at all because that's way too much damage. So
unless you give it to your enemy because it's a
right,
bad card. You don't want it. You want to
exactly.
give it to them because it sucks.
They had to
Kills
nerf it because of like Shaman or whatever, or that the Death Knight Shaman, because it would sometimes spawn that card at 3 mana, and then it would trigger the effect because you just evolved a bunch of minions, and the game thought that they were all summoned, so then you would kill yourself as Shaman.
Yeah,
That was pretty funny. But yeah, this card's doo doo. It's garbage.
Hearthstone programming for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
I
card's
can't see this
garbage.
unless you have a spell like an effect that when your paladin heals yourself or whenever you take damage. But
Yeah,
paladin doesn't really have that.
they don't really have that, and even then, you're just gonna be wasting like tempo, right? You're gonna be wasting mana to get yourself back up.
And the 1 mana 2/2 isn't even worth it.
Yeah, it's not. And then yeah, I was gonna say the end game is not that worth it either. So yeah, I think I give this a 1, maybe a 0.
Yeah, it's bad.
Here's the card that you were talking about actually earlier.
Yeah.
An epic priest minion called, I don't know, pronounce this for me, Carson.
Auchenai Phantasm.
Thank you. 2 mana 3/2. With the battle cry, or with the card text that reads battle cry. This turn, your healing effects deal damage instead. Great
I'm
card.
annoyed that this is. Why is it epic?
Because they want you to burn money on dust, Carson. Because they
Yeah.
want you to spend 800 dust on this card.
Auchenai Soul Priest is rare. But yeah, this is gonna be in every priest. Like this is why I don't play priest, because all of their important cards are epic and I don't want to waste a dust on it.
Yeah, same.
Like I avoid priest. I don't have a priest deck and I haven't been playing priest. Like
how much dust do you have saved up, by the way?
None.
Oh.
I just crafted something.
Ooh. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't play priest because all of their cards are epic.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't know why that is either. Especially when like I feel like priest and warrior are the two classes that like basically are like their evergreen cards are so bad, I feel like, that they need cards from expansions to be viable, right? Like they live and die by like the expansion cards that get released. And so I feel like they should be cheaper, but beyond that, I think the card is really good. And yeah, I agree with you that it'll be in every combo priest. It just sucks that it, or every priest deck possibly. It just sucks that it's so expensive.
Yeah, that's why priests get a new board clear every year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I give it a 3 or 4 though, to be honest. Possibly even like higher, 4.5 maybe.
I think it's really good in combos. I mean, but you have to. It's a battle cry though, so maybe it's not as good as Auchenai. But like you have to play it.
Right, you have to play it, and it's just for the turn.
But I mean that, and the 0 mana, like it's gonna enable like different ways of doing the combo probably.
Yeah, exactly. It's so cheap anyway that like you don't mind. Yeah, I don't know. Still keep with my score.
Seems good.
Next up we have a common rogue spell, a 2 mana card called Stolen Steel, with the card text that reads discover a weapon from another class. Arena card?
Yeah, that one's weird. I mean,
yeah.
You're paying 2 mana to potentially brick. I don't know about it.
I don't like I don't like it, to be honest. I don't really care for it. There's just too much variance.
Can you get like a Minari? Does it count all the legendary weapons?
So they've claimed that it counts every legendary weapon.
Twig of the World Tree.
Everything, minus obviously Tyrion's weapon.
Yeah.
So there's just I think there's just too much variance with this.
Yeah, because you're spending the 2 mana, like, and then you still have to spend the mana to cast the spell. or to cast the weapon.
Right.
So I think because of that, it's bad.
Which is most likely going to be doo-doo. And then because it's so bad, because a lot of the weapon synergies might not work with Rogue, then you're just going to have like a dead card in your hand,
You're gonna
probably.
get a blood claw from it.
You're going to get you're going to get Blood Claw, or in Wild, you're going to get Cursed Blade.
Yeah, I think
Like,
Stolen Steel is bad.
yeah, I don't like it. I give it a 1.5.
1.
We have a new Rogue weapon, though.
I think that's good.
I think that this is good too. It's 1
Yeah.
mana, 1 attack, 3 durability, called Serrated Tooth, with a card text that reads Death Rattle, give your minions rush. Yeah, I think it's a good. I think it's a pretty good card.
It's,
you know,
however, it's good, but it disables your hero power. Or I guess you can
no,
break it.
you
Yeah, yeah.
break it whenever you want to. I think, which is good. I think early game weapons are just pretty, and usually minus Blood Claw,
So
are
wait, how does that work? Give your minions rush. Is that minions already on the field rush?
yes.
That's weird.
And otherwise it would specify give minions in your hand
Yeah.
or in your deck or whatever rush.
In your hand rush. So you have to play it and then you break the weapon and then they can attack. That's just gonna feel awkward. Like to play it out.
Yeah. I like it though. It's a good early game weapon, I guess, with more charges where you're obviously not gonna play an odd rogue. It's a good 1 mana 1/3 weapon where you don't really have to worry about your hero power or wasting 2 mana to get your 1/2 weapon hero power, because you have an extra charge. But then if you do want to break it early, you can, to get that rush benefit or whatever. I think it's good. I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's like a 3.5 to a 4.
It's also good in like Death Rattle Rogue.
Yeah.
You know? It's a Death Rattle as well. And then it makes your Death Rattles have rush.
Right.
So I think it's good.
Cards open up. Next up we have a common shaman minion, a 1 mana 2/1 called Wartbringer, with the card text that reads Battlecry. If you play 2 spells this turn, deal 2 damage. Meh.
I don't like shaman spells.
Yeah, I don't like shaman spells either. Like I keep saying, the ones that you do want to play have overload anyway, and I don't know if I really want to overload myself that much. Right, in general. And then the benefit of like the ones that you do play probably have already cleared the board already.
It also sucks for a 1 mana minion. I mean, you're not going to play this on turn 1.
Right, yeah, you're not going to play it on turn 1. It's a 2/1, so it's going to get pinged away or just destroyed or ignored. It doesn't really matter, right?
And its condition is like so difficult for the amount of payout, like to deal 2 damage if you cast 2 spells plus play the minion. So that's playing 3 cards to do 2 damage.
Right.
I think it's bad.
It's doo-doo. I give it like a 1.
Yeah.
Maybe half a point.
It's too restricted to do 2 damage for a 1 mana card. That's a 2/1. Like there's so many things wrong with it.
Yeah.
And it's shaman spells.
Yep, and it's shaman spells on top of
But
it.
that's what they're pushing. Like, so for whatever theme they have for this expansion, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand the shaman spell. Like, unless there's but that's it. That's it for the shaman spells, right?
Yeah.
There aren't any others.
Nope.
Yeah, they suck.
I mean, freeze shaman, right? Still don't understand why that was a thing.
Yeah, I have Moravi.
But next up we have a common warlock spell. It's 8 mana called Demon Bolt, with the card text that reads Destroy a minion, costs 1 less for each minion you control. This is way too expensive.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, this is just way too expensive.
You play it in Zoo?
Would you?
I mean, that's when you'd be able to cast it.
Yeah, I mean, but would you though?
Like, destroy a minion. I don't know. I'm sure you can. It's not. It's a. It kills. Thing. Kills the minion. Not sure though. Yeah. Like Blast Crystal Potion was played.
It's like, what was that one card that was like a 0 mana and it like summoned tentacles and it caught, on your board or whatever? Like, I don't know. Like, there's.
But yeah, the condition is extremely restrictive. Like you
Yeah.
need 4 minions to make it 4 mana. You're right. Like it's too expensive.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah. And then no. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't like it.
Oh, you know what?
Hmm.
Siphon Soul is a lot better.
That's true. That's 6 mana, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. 6 mana doesn't have a board state to worry
And Siphon
about.
Soul isn't even played
Yeah.
right
And
now, at
heals.
least.
So.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say it. I probably agree with you that it's bad. I'm just trying to think about it first. Like you might as well just play Twisting Nether,
Yeah.
but it's not quite the same. But yeah, I think it's bad. You're right.
I
Maybe
give it a
2.
1 or 2.
I'd say 2 to 3, but
Okay.
yeah.
This is a warlock minion called Blood Troll Sapper. It's a 7 mana 5/8 with the card text that reads: after a friendly minion dies, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero.
So it's definitely like the same theme where you have a massive board.
Right. An overflooded board of demons.
Well, that's pretty it's pretty aggressive. I mean, so you trade, your minions die, you still do face damage, but it's 7 mana.
I just.
So it's too expensive.
Yeah, I just feel it costs a lot, but then at the same time, like, I don't know. It depends on like what you're up against, I guess, because.
Well, think about it. You play this,
Mhm.
you have a full board, and then you Hellfire. You know,
Ooh. Oh, that is
you
true.
can deal 14 damage, a 15 damage combo.
Yeah, that
If
is
you have,
true.
well, actually, no, it would be that wouldn't die. So
This and Defile, maybe. I don't know.
yeah, like it could set up some
Crazy combo.
pretty. Yeah, but you need a full board.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can make that work. Same with like Demon Bolt. I mean, that's why I was thinking about like, are there a lot of Warlock flood the
I
board
I don't think
effects?
yeah, I don't think there is right now. That's the thing.
Hmm.
So I think as of right now this card's like average to below average, maybe like a 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think there used to be more.
Yeah. The one that keeps coming to mind is just that 0 mana card where it was like summon tentacles for like if you play it and it like summons 5 tentacles if you have like 5 mana or whatever.
Oh, did I not see that?
No, that's like a card that's rotated to wild.
Mm,
That was like a while ago. That was in Whisper of the Old Gods. But
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I give this card like a 2 or 3. Maybe a 3.5.
Ectomancy, summon copies of all demons you control. Might combo, but yeah. Combos with other bad cards.
Death Speaker plus Devile plus this OTK meme.
I mean, it can do some.
Oh, Dreadsteed wasn't changed. That's a good point too. Because this would be pretty funny with that card, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you can kill the enemy, but
Yeah.
the condition is kind of difficult.
For now, it's just a meme card to me. It's not very viable.
But at 10 mana, you play that in Hellfire. It's a good kill.
Yeah. I think it will definitely see some sort of play. Possibly.
Yeah.
Let's see what's next up. Next up is a warrior spell called Dragon Roar. This is the 2 mana with the card text that reads: add 2 random dragons to your hand.
Hmm.
So
Are dragons good?
I mean, here's the thing. Right off the bat, I'm just thinking arena.
I'm thinking Swamp Dragon Egg.
Ooh, that's true too.
But I mean that would be played in Dragon Warrior possibly. But
Right.
would it?
Maybe.
That's the goal. And
Was it a
then
1 mana 0/3? Add a random dragon to your hand when it dies.
yeah. Too many random effects. Like what
Yeah.
dragons are you gonna get?
I can see this as like an arena card just to fill your board with, or fill your hand with more cards or whatever.
You're paying 2 mana for it too.
Yeah, but
Possibly this might be played in the Dragon Warrior deck, but
there's
I
some
think
pretty.
it's a
I
weak
guess there's
card.
more good dragons than there are bad dragons, though, right?
Yeah, get Deathwing and Nostormu.
Yeah, and Ysera.
Oh well, I mean, there's Scale Worm for
Would-
Dragon Rush Warrior. I don't know. Thinking Twilight Drake. Dragons suck. I don't know.
Cobalt Scalebane, Marsh Drake, Sleepy Dragon, Bone Drake.
I don't like the archetype. I wish that they didn't go mech and then dragon.
I know. Primordial Drake, Syndragosa, Ysera. I mean, I don't know. I think it's an average card. I think it's like average to below to average. Once again, like 2 to 3.
I think it's gonna be bad. It's 2 mana. Get garbage.
That's fair. Next up, we have a pretty good spell, in my opinion, at least. A common spell from Warrior. It's 1 mana. It's called Devastate, and it has a card text that reads: deal 4 damage to a damaged minion. I think this is pretty good.
Yeah, for Control Warrior.
Yeah. I mean, Execute is 2 mana. Just destroys anyone, right? So I don't know. I think this is pretty good for 1 mana.
And Execute used to be 1 mana.
I know. This is what Execute died for.
It's deal 4 damage to a damaged minion. Actually, I don't know.
I mean, isn't Execute this? Wait, Execute's undamaged, right?
No damage.
It's damaged
Yeah.
as well, right? Yeah.
I don't know if this is that good.
I think it's I think it's playable. I don't think it's like crazy good, but I definitely think it's like a 3, 3.5.
You have to damage it first, so I mean, maybe you whirlwind, maybe attack a minion with your minion, deal 4 damage, and then hopefully it's dead by then. I think it's kind of weak. It's too restricted for the 4 damage, like to a damaged minion.
Okay, fair enough. What would you give it?
2.
Next up, we're all into basically the home stretch here, guys. We're at all the neutral minions now, which we have a handful of. I think this will go pretty fast because a lot of these just seem like meh to me. So keep in mind, the next handful of cards before we end are all neutral. So, first up, we have a epic minion called Ice Cream Peddler, 4 mana, 3/5, with a card text that reads: Battle Cry. If you control a frozen minion, gain 8 armor. This is bad.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I don't get why it's epic.
They've already, like, what you play Marabi with it. No,
this is bad. This is a 1.
gain 8 armor. Why?
I don't know. This is a 1 to me. Like if yeah.
It's bad. It's really bad. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I don't
Doesn't
get
go
it.
in anything. Like they just made it to waste your money.
Yeah.
Epic.
Disenchant this. So 1. Next up we have another epic minion called, what is this? Drakari Trickster?
Yeah, that goes with Grifta.
Okay. 3 mana, 3/4. Battlecry. Give each player a copy of a random card from their opponent's deck. I think it's a fun card,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's gonna see play.
Give each player a copy of a random card from opponent's deck. That is so random. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. It's like the mage card, the 3 mana 3/4.
Yeah. I think this is like a 1 or 2, to be honest.
Could win you the game. Could
screw
give
you.
your opponent the card they need to win. Yeah.
Yeah. 1 or 2 for me. I just don't like the random.
But in a grifted deck, I mean, it also has the effect where like you could potentially cause your opponent to mill themselves or burn a card. So that's it's a fringe case. Like, yeah.
Right. I mean, it's giving, right? So like it doesn't. Oh, it's a copy. Never mind. So they're still gonna have the card in their deck. I mean, it would be cooler if it, like literally stole a card. That might be really good, right? Because then like you could really interrupt some like combo decks, right, with it. Like, oh, I stole your Shudderwalk. Haha, you're done. But it's give a
player a card from their opponent's
but it's a
deck.
copy, so they're not losing anything, you know.
I think it would actually be good if it was give each player a card from their opponent's
Oh
deck, because
yeah,
then you can actually like pull off some weird
yeah.
stuff with that.
So I
But
give
yeah,
it a
the
1 or 2.
Yeah, I think it has potential though. It's another like weird card,
Yeah.
not like Ice Cream Peddler, which is stupid.
Yeah, what are all these weird epic cards they're making? Anyways, next up we have an epic minion Gurubashi offering a 1 mana 0/2 with the card text that says at the start of your turn destroy this and gain 8 armor.
I don't think this is bad. I think it's good for control.
I think it's good for control as well, but
It's 1 mana heal for 8.
yeah, but the thing is
But it has to survive.
It has to survive. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So I mean, like Doomsayer, that's really good, but I mean, there's gonna be a little bit of setup for it. It's gonna act as a taunt, right? For most people, like Doomsayer kind of acts as a taunt, right? People want to get rid of it. But I think the health is a little too low. I don't think that I think that this is going to be one of those cards where once it's played, players are just going to be like, "Yep, I'm getting rid of that as soon as possible." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's most likely going to be targeted. Is it worth it to put in your deck? Probably not. Then, to be honest, I would give it a 1 or a 2 to 2.5 to 3.
I
That's
can
being
see it.
gracious too, for me at
I could
least.
see it being played in control decks, but it's weird.
I think that if the health was better, would be, but it's not going to survive a lot. My opinion.
If you play a turn 1, the opponent can't attack quick enough.
That's true.
I don't think it's as bad as you think it is.
Okay. I mean, 2.5 to 3 for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
I
mean, I'm not saying it's good, but I think it's possibly playable.
Right. Next up we have a 5 mana rare minion, 5 mana 3/3, called Arena Patreon, Overkill, summon another one. Basically, it's bad.
It's really bad.
It's really bad. Yeah, it basically has the Overkill thing, so it needs to kill something with less. Yeah, it's just bad. You don't even have to go with this card.
It's like worse than that's worse than Ice Cream Peddler.
Yeah, this is a 0 to a 1.
Yeah,
For me.
like this is trash.
0 for me is like I just insta dust it.
It's their attempt at making Grim Patron again, but
it's not gonna work.
It's not good. It's bad. It's a bad Grim Patron.
Definitely. Next up we have a rare minion, a 2 mana 3/3 called Booty Bay Bookie, with the card text that reads Battle Cry, give your opponent a coin.
Arena playable-ish, kind of like Dracaric Trickster. I mean, I keep talking about these effects that can cause your opponents to overdraw, so there's that to consider.
Yeah, like you can mill, I guess, but then you give your opponent a coin.
Yeah, I don't think that's like that's not something that like I think is good. I think it's a possible case of like when these can be played. So I probably sound like that. I think that's a really good thing to have, but it's not.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I give it like a 1 to 2.5 probably. Being pretty generous.
I mean, it's 2 mana 3/3. Give your opponent a coin. I think it's better for your opponent than yourself for the extra attack or the extra health.
Yeah, because your opponent's just going to coin out something and then be able to just, overpower
usually
it
it's
quickly.
better for them.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for Arena, it's not the worst.
I'll definitely see it played in Arena, because there's a lot of like those type of cards that are played in Arena, so.
It's kind of like the Dragon the 5/6, but that gives your opponent 2 coins,
That
right?
gives your opponent 2 coins, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's usually harder-ish to kill depending on what you're playing up against, I guess, in arena.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have a rare minion. It's a 2-mana 0/2 totem called Serpent Ward with the card text that says, at the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero.
Is that the only neutral totem, or are there others?
Let's see here. From what is left to be revealed, it seems to be. I'm not sure about other totems that were revealed, neutral totems that were revealed.
Yeah, Nightmare Amalgam is a totem.
What does that do?
That's the one that's every tribe.
Oh, right.
But yeah, that's odd. I mean, weird that that's a totem. At the end of a turn, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. I don't think it's very good though.
No, it's
0/2.
not that good to be able to do that. And
2 mana 0/2.
for a 2-mana 0/2, it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
It would be better if it had 2 attack as a 2 mana 2/2.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
the benefit is that it can go through taunt. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. I give it a 1.
Yeah.
Next
I
up,
mean, it's the fact that it's a totem. I mean, has
Yeah.
some synergy, but that's not a good synergy right now.
Yeah. Next up, we pretty much have Iron Beak Owl, little brother, but it is a rare minion called Shieldbreaker, a 2-mana 2/1 with the card text that reads, Battlecry, silence an enemy minion with taunt.
Seems like it could work in aggro.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Can't be placed into odd as well. But yeah, I think it's a okay card. It's just a tech card, right? So it's an okay card. I give it a 3. Nothing really crazy. Nothing really bad. Just another silence type of card or whatever.
I would give it lower than a 3. I think you'd still be better off just playing an owl or a spellbreaker in most cases.
Oh, I agree. What do you give it, like a
But
2?
yeah, I mean, silencing an enemy minion taunt. It's a 2 mana 2/1 in every other case. Like, a lot of the times, how many taunts even have in decks? Like, it's
That's a good point, yeah.
it's so like I'd probably rather just play spellbreaker.
How much does Spellbreaker cost? 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'd still give it like a 3. I like it.
I'm gonna say a 2. Or a 1. I don't like it. I don't think it's gonna be played.
Next up, we have a common minion, 8 mana, 2/14, called Mosh Og Enforcer, with the card text that reads Taunt, Divine Shield. I mean, arena card, right? If that.
Yeah.
I mean,
bad.
filler card, right?
It has 2 attack. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's 8 mana. 14 health, sure, and Divine Shield and Taunt. Like, the Divine Shield and Taunt are good. It might buy you like a turn or 2, but I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I mean,
Yeah,
one or 2 for me.
that's one of those cards that you forget exists.
Right.
Probably.
Let's open these really quick.
There we go.
Next up, we have Dragon Moss Scorcher. It is a common minion, a 5 mana 3/6 with the Dragon Tribe with the card text that reads Battlecry, deal 1 damage to all of the minions. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a warrior card.
It's definitely a warrior card. Whatever. Yeah, Dragon Warrior will probably be pretty good. To put this in, obviously.
It's like Primordial Drake
it's
as well.
Yep, it's gonna be able to work in Odd Warrior as well.
Yeah,
That's another whirlwind.
I feel like that fits the Dragon Control Warrior deck.
Yeah, Dragon Odd Control Warrior.
It's like you have to play any specific archetypes that Blizzard wants you to. You can't make your own deck.
Yeah, that's one of the issues I have with the game is that they force certain archetypes. But yeah, overall, probably a 3.5, maybe higher.
It's okay. Yeah, it's got like the 5 mana 3/6, which warrior plays
Mm-hmm.
in the Stegadon or whatever that's called.
Right.
Stegadon. Uh, Direhorn.
Direhorn
Yeah.
Mall or Direhorn, whatever it's called. Yeah, Hatchling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's okay. It's
but
boring.
with no taunt. But yeah, it's just it's an average card. I think a 3,
Hmm.
3.5.
It's playable.
Yeah. Next up we have a common minion, a 5 mana 1/1 called Former Champ with the card text reads Battlecry. Summon a 5/5 Hot Shot. The Hot Shot is just a 5 mana 5/5 with no tribe.
It's creatively bankrupt. It's the same as stupid.
As what?
I didn't finish my sentence. I'm
Oh.
thinking about that set. What was it? Gadgetzan.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, gadget. Oh shoot. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The shoot.
I can't
I know what
find
you're
it.
talking about. Where it's a 1/1 and then it summons a 5/5 or whatever.
Summons a 7/7 or
Yeah,
whatever.
something like that.
It's,
Gadgetan Racketeer.
it's fine in
Or something like
arena,
that.
but
Yeah.
it's boring.
Yeah. Next up, we have a common minion, a 4 mana 3/2 called Rumble Tusk Shaker with the Death Rattle. Summon a 3/2 Rumble Tusk Breaker.
Arena,
Arena.
maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Sticky. Whatever. Boring.
Boring, yep.
Not even like the death rattle effect isn't interesting. You can't pull off any cool death rattle combos with it.
Right.
So whatever.
Next up, we have a common minion, called Arena Treasure Chest, 4 mana 0/4 card text Death Rattle. Draw 2 cards. Bad. I think this is just dust.
I don't know. I mean, if you have a deck that's around death rattles and you need card draw, you can make it work. Like Death Rattle Hunter could possibly use that for card draw,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to spend another card to make that effect happen.
At 4 mana, which is kind of pricey.
Yeah.
And with the 4 health, I feel like that's a little too much for it.
Plus, like, by itself, you're spending a card. So, yeah, it's probably pretty bad. 4 mana, yeah.
Next up, we have a common minion, a 4 mana 2/3 called Arena Fanatic with the card text that reads Battlecry. Give all minions in your hand +1/+1. I mean, this is pretty much hand buff Paladin.
I hate it.
This is maybe Zulok. Probably not, though. Yeah. I don't really like hand buff decks, so it's pretty boring of a card.
Why are they still using that effect?
I don't know.
People didn't even. It was like the worst effect in Gadgetzan.
Yeah.
They just want it to be weak.
Yeah. I don't know. Don't like the card. Don't care for it. I think it's like a 2 or a 3, though.
Yeah.
For
I don't
what
like
it gives
it.
you, but
I'm going to give it a 0 because I hate it.
that's fair.
I don't like that they're making this card.
Next up, we have a common minion, a 4 mana 3/5 called Regeneratin Thug. Card text at the start of your turn, restore 2 health to this minion. This is an arena card, I think.
It works in a Heal Zoo.
Oh, it does. Yeah. Is Heal Zoo still a thing?
Right now, yeah.
Is it really? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, at like rank 6, rank 7, I'm seeing it.
All right. Yeah, I think it's an okay card.
Yeah,
Just
it
like
could be played in that deck.
Yeah.
And then in arena but other than that,
yeah,
whatever.
Next up, we have a common minion, 4 mana 3/5 halftime scavenger with the card text that reads Stealth Overkill, gain 3 armor.
That's pretty good.
It's actually good, yeah.
I mean, the stealth. So it's a 4 mana 3/5. I mean, for its base stats. Yeah, because like you essentially guarantee the 3 armor.
Right.
At least once, kind of, because it's stealthed.
Right.
I don't know, but I'm not saying it's good, but I mean, at least it's like better than these other cards.
It's probably playable. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a 2.5 to a 3 in my opinion.
for I mean, I don't know what deck it would be played in because it's like a control, 3 armor is more control, but then it's like 4 mana, 3/5.
Right.
Do control decks even play that? I
Right.
don't know. But it's more interesting, more playable than these other ones.
Yeah. Next up we have we have a common minion, a 3 mana 3/5 beast called Ornery Tortoise. Battlecry, deal 5 damage to your hero.
No.
Bad.
Yeah.
Just we've talked about this already to death. Just 5 damage is just way too much for any type of benefit.
Yeah, you're getting 1 extra health on the minion
Woo.
and a beast tag.
Dust it, bad card.
Why?
I don't know. Next up, we have a common minion, a 3 mana 2/2 called Banana Buffoon. Battlecry, add 2 bananas to your hand.
Bijan would love this card.
I think it's pretty bad.
Okay, so what? You're spending 3 mana for a 2/2, so you're
Right.
losing 1 attack and 2 health to get 2/2 that you have to spend 2/2.
Yep.
Yeah, it's weak.
Yeah. So like a 5 mana 4/4 at best.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Miracle Rogue could make it work. Summon the priest. Priest can make it work. Anyone that like you cast a spell. I mean, to do an effect, but priest or rogue might
Yeah.
be cool with it.
I still don't think it will see play though. Possibly, but I don't know. 2.5 for me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other things like for warlock or whatever. Like if you have a giant, makes your hand bigger, but then doesn't.
Odd quest paladin, someone says.
Yeah,
I guess, yeah.
yeah. Kaleidosaur, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's not. It's not bad. I mean, 3 mana 2/2 is kind of bad, but the
Right.
2 bananas can be used.
Sorry, I'm just making sure what card we're on. Okay. Next up, we have a common minion, 2 mana 2/3 called Spellzerker with the card text that reads has spell damage +2 while damaged.
Well, power creep, maybe.
Yeah,
2/2/3.
yeah, 2/2/3. I mean, it's pretty good. I don't think you'll. I think if it does get played, I mean, you're rarely gonna pull off the spell damage +2 while damaged.
Yeah,
But
and then like you could play it in warrior, but then does warrior do damage? I mean, you have devastate,
mhm,
which is also super conditional. So you need your minion to be damaged, the enemy minion to be damaged. Then you can do 6 damage, or you can make your whirlwinds do 3 damage instead of 1
right.
in warrior.
It
But
would
then
still have to
like
be damaged. Yeah, it has to be damaged first, though.
but it's a 2 mana 2/3. Like yeah, it's not.
It's not that
It's
great.
probably not going to be played.
Yeah.
I can't see. I mean, you have to damage it to do 2 damage.
Right.
It's possible, but weird.
Right. Next up, we have a common minion, a 2 mana 0/4 called Dozing Marksman. Has +4 attack while damaged.
I mean, that's also like a warrior.
Right. Also, a warrior
Possible.
card, possibly be used or whatever.
But then it's a 4/3.
But then, yeah, it's for 2 mana, and then you have to have conditions around it to actually activate it. I don't think it's that good. Well, there is also the warrior card. No, to be fair, there is that warrior weapon, right? Deal damage, like deal 1 damage to a
Right, yeah.
minion. So
Then it's a 4/3.
and it's a 4/3, right? So I don't know, maybe, but I still
an
don't think it's gonna be played.
I mean, I'm thinking of Angry Chicken when I'm thinking of this.
Right.
And
Definitely.
Angry Chicken is actually like okay for Deathstalk or Rexar,
Mm-hmm.
but this is not a beast.
Right.
So it's
2.5.
yeah, the 0 attack is bad.
Next up, we have a common minion, a 2-mana 2/1 called Cheaty Ankle Biter with the card text reads Life Steal, Battle Cry, deal 1 damage.
That's playable.
It is playable or whatever. You just play it, you deal 1 damage to something, and then you heal 1 health or whatever. I mean, it could be an activator for you. It could, yeah.
It combos with Dozing Marksman.
Right. Oh, snap. That's true.
But
And
yeah,
it heals you a health.
it's whatever.
It's whatever.
like
It's playable but
another
boring,
arena.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we have a neutral. Once again, a neutral common minion, a 2-mana 0/2 called Scarab Egg. With the card text that reads Death Rattle, summon 3 1/1 scarabs. The scarabs that are summoned are 1/1s that are part of the Beast Tribe.
Grim Rally.
Yeah. I don't know. It's okay. I don't think
I
it's
guess it combos with Grim Rally, yeah.
I don't think it's so. It dies. What? It's like 3/5 at best, right? After its death, though. Yeah, it's okay, but I don't think it's gonna see play.
You can make it. I mean,
You
at
can make it
least
work. Yeah,
it's
for
an
sure.
egg. Summon 3 1/1 scarabs. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Right. I give it a 2.5 or a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, last card is a common minion, a 1-mana 1/1 part of the Beast Tribe called Helpless Hatchling. With the card text that reads Death Rattle, reduce the cost of your beast. Reduce the cost of a beast in your hand by 1. I feel like this is their like cutesy card, right? Like every expansion has it, like Murloc, Tiny Fin, Snowflipper, Penguin.
Oh yeah,
This
where
is
it's
their
like a 0-mana 1/1.
and then like they had that like one that was like a 1-mana 1/1, and when you attack with it, it spawns another one in your hand or whatever. It's cute.
Reduce the cost of a beast in your hand by 1.
I mean,
cost 1.
Random
Death Rattle.
It's a death rattle, so it has to die. You're paying 1 for it. It's a random beast in your hand.
It's not good.
It's not good. If it was 0, maybe, but even then, I don't think it would be that good because of the death rattle, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's fair. And
it's like
yeah. Yeah, that's it though. We're done, dude.
That's it.
That is all the cards that were revealed.
Those cards.
So those are all the cards revealed for this thing. I did another episode previously where we talked about all the other cards that were revealed as well. Before we let you go, Carson, is there any closing thoughts that you have about Rosticon's Rumble, about any of the cards you saw, anything you're looking forward to that you can remember?
I don't know. Hopefully people figure out more interesting ways to use these cards because a lot of them are pretty disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, these are bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's always so many garbage cards that no one plays. Then you spend how much money? If I look through every card in every set, most cards are bad. So
yeah,
should be okay in the end.
I feel like as well, probably with minus Witchwood, which got us some really really good cards. I feel like this year is definitely I feel like a reset year where they were like, okay, we had some bad powder creep in the last 2 years. Those cards are rotating out in 4 months, so let's reset all the power levels. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of these cards, I see them, and I'm like, oh, this is a good card, or it would be a good card, but we have this card from this old set. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like once this set might be more predominant once the new, or once the rotation happens in 2019.
Yeah, I mean, I'm I didn't even look at what the cards were before this I don't even know what this set was called.
Right.
I mean, I still play Hearthstone a lot, but what was the last set called? The current one.
Boomsday.
Yeah, Boomsday Project. Like,
Right.
see, that's how disconnected I am from
Right.
like this set. Even like I didn't know any of the cards, and even if I look at them, I still don't know what they are.
Right.
Like I'm trying to look through it, and we're describing these cards' names, but or by what they do, not their names. Like,
Right.
do you know what Electra Storm Surge does?
No, I don't.
Yeah, it's a shaman legendary. Battle cry. You can spell this turn, cast twice. Like, so
Right.
that's an example. Like, and that's the one. That one's actually played.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess there is a lot of that in Hearthstone. So
Right.
maybe once the pros and good players figure out different ways to use them, that's why like all these cards that we're saying like they're probably bad, but they can do something interesting. So at
Right.
least those. That's what I want to see. Like Grifta looks bad,
Mm-hmm.
but I hope someone makes a deck out of that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know if it does enough on its own, but like there's no Mechathune this time. Like Mechathune, like you saw the combos that people pulled off with it. Like you took Ticking Abomination
Mm-hmm.
and what's the other card that you need to combo for Mechathune? Oh yeah, Hemet.
Right.
Those cards are awful, but Mechathune made them playable.
Right. Exactly.
So hopefully something like that happens.
Someone
These
finds
cards.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I
No,
mean,
I
if
agree.
Blizzard keeps coming up with these tribes that require a specific card, and then the next set come out with a tribe that requires different cards, and it's like, oh, now I have to collect all these dragons again, and I can't use the dragons that I used 3 years ago.
Right. Yeah. No, I get you. I really don't like how like Blizzard forces those type of tribes and synergies. I feel like it's just a way for them to like get casual players into the game to be like, here's an easy deck that you can build. Like when people are trying to learn how to build decks, like, oh, I'm just gonna put all the dragons in it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Yeah. Any other closing thoughts?
Hopefully these cards are better than we think they are. I mean, some of them are good, some of them
Yeah.
are cool, right? But like
Right.
Shaman's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I was like trying to read what other people thought of that 0 mana druid card, and other
Mm-hmm.
people think it's really good,
Yeah.
but I just think it doesn't work because it's even.
Right. Or maybe we're just
So
like high IQ and we're ahead of the curve.
I
I doubt
mean,
it,
a lot
but
of them I'm saying like, oh, this could work, so then I'm not wrong.
right.
The
Exactly.
qualifier.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. I didn't realize it was going to run this long, but thanks.
It's usually how it works.
Yeah, usually how it works. All right, man. I'll catch you later.
All right, see ya.
All right, peace, man. Thanks again.
No problem.
All right, guys. That is going to be it for me in this episode. I told you it was going to be a long one, boys. Shout outs again to Carson. He doesn't really have any social media or anything like that he wants to plug, so you can probably find him never. But I do appreciate you guys coming over to this episode. I hope that you guys are satisfied for a week when these cards do come out, and when the next episode comes out, we'll have a lot to talk about. Like I said, we do have some more stuff to talk about. We do have an announcement of the esports changes that are happening in 2019, as well as new Hearthstone patch. Remember that Rostacon's Rumble also does come out next Tuesday, December 4th. So Thursday's episode, we will be talking about Rostacon's Rumble and all that good stuff that is in there. So keep that in mind as well with that whole thing. Lastly, just a quick reminder, like I reminded at the top of the episode, you guys can still pre-order until December 3rd to get the pre-order bundles for Rostacon's Rumble. And then keep in mind that from November 30th until December 3rd, you can also open your pre-orders up early and play against your friends and stuff like that using cards only from Rostacon's Rumble. So keep that in mind. And you can't disenchant or craft anymore until the set actually releases on December 4th. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for hanging out and stuff. As always, my name is Ryan. You can follow the podcast on Spotify or iTunes, which you can find in the episode description down below. You can also follow me on my Twitch, my Twitter, and my Instagram at Ryan Kubo, RyanKubo, all lowercase, all one word. You can also follow on the YouTube if you want to check out unedited VODs of the podcast at youtube.com/SHIGEOS, Shigeos, Twitch TV, all one word, all lowercase as well. and you can find those links to those social media websites in the episode description. Just go to the episode description. It's super easy. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks so much for listening. And I will see you guys next Thursday after Rostacon's Rumble's out to give you my first impressions of it and all the cool news and decks that have been created thus far. Until then, guys, I will catch you in the next episode. Peace.